you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
We're going to finally talk about someone who's not the big blue Boy Scout. That's right.
I'm Batman.
Up in the 80s, there was a bit of a dry period of superhero films, which is weird. Don't you think it's weird? Because Superman in 78 was a huge hit.
Yeah.
Superman 2 did very well. 3 and 4, they got nobody to blame but themselves, but they're not good movies. There was no big wave of superhero films. They're like, oh, Superman's a one-off. And
I really think that it just took a while for Hollywood to kind of catch up with Donner and the way he was thinking, you know, because he was, you know, as we well know, we talked about this, he didn't get to finish his work. And after he left, he was like, well, screw this. So he didn't continue. He didn't do any more superhero movies.
I think that obviously since even today, you still essentially are dealing with the big two. Not that there aren't a million other comic companies and indies, but for a long time, you only had DC and Marvel. And the reason I think it didn't kick off a big wave is Warner Brothers was stupid. They probably looked at the failures of Superman 3 and 4 and didn't say, oh, what lessons should we learn about how you do it and how not to do it? Instead, they just thought to themselves, well, Superman's the biggest superhero of all time and no one wants to go see him anymore, so shut it all down. It wasn't them saying, oh, maybe we did him badly. They just said, people don't want superheroes. Wrong.
Well, I didn't know this until recently, but the production that led up to what we know as Batman, Tim Burton's Batman now, it started like 10 years before this. And
with Mankiewicz.
Early on, Tom Mankiewicz did a draft in 1983. And even there was a bunch of rewrites after that. But even after those rewrites, they kept using his script to try to sell it, to try to move the project forward.
Right.
When it eventually came to Burton didn't like that script.
Right.
So he had somebody else rewrite it.
So basically, if DC is owned by Warner Brothers and they are stalling out and just like going, we're helpless, we don't know what to do, and Marvel is over in limbo, and so that's it for our superheroes. And so we're just waiting. And as you said, these scripts are bopping around in the background. Tim Burton comes out, hits big with Pee-wee. They're like, oh, this guy is fascinating, and he's clearly got a cartoony sensibility. The thing is, I love that they go to him and go, hey, man, you want to do Batman? And Tim Burton's like, oh, like he grew up as an animation nerd, a cartoonist. Obviously, he does love gothy stuff, but he was not a superhero comic guy. And yeah, you're right. He read the Mankiewicz script, didn't like it. He and his girlfriend at the time sat down and wrote a treatment for their version of Batman, which is kind of nuts when you read through it. I think he skimmed a lot of what Mankiewicz did, and he probably did look through some current Batman comics, and then he just went, here's my treatment. And very wisely, someone said, no, hey, thanks. Here's something that Sam Hamm's been working on.
Yeah.
And Sam Hamm's was also very different than what we got, because eventually there was a writer's strike right when they're getting close to actually filming Batman. And the writer's strike left them like, we don't quite know how this movie wraps up. And we knew we needed to rewrite what Sam Hamm did. And that's when they got Warren Scarron to come in. And Warren Scarron is the guy who basically gets the script close to what we see. And he changed a bunch of stuff, which is why it's credited both of them, because you don't get that in Writers Guild unless you did enough. Like, you have to have done over 50% of your own stuff to get co-writing. Apparently, he was responsible for a lot of the Joker stuff. He was responsible for the controversial Vicky Vale being brought into the Batcave sequence. But and also they were forced to change things when they cast Jack Nicholson. Literally, the early drafts did not have Jack Napier being the guy who killed the Waynes. The only reason they did that was it's like, well, the age difference. So why don't we go ahead and make Jack Napier the guy who killed the Waynes? I'm not a huge fan of that, actually.
No, and James Gunn has said he's not a fan of that either.
No, one thing all right, another thing. We saw it when it opened, right? Weren't you there probably opening day?
Not opening day. I told this story on our first episode, actually. We talked about this, that I was on a double date. But I was coming straight from work. I was working at Con's Delicatessen in the village, the Rice Village in Houston. And I always insisted on taking a shower when I got home from working there because
As well, you should. You smell like meat.
smelled like corned beef and mozzarella. So I drove all the way home in rush hour traffic, showered, and then hauled ass over all the way over to Maryland, which is where the Maryland AMC theater, which is where we were seeing it. And I was like 10 minutes late by the time I got there.
Oh my God.
And the girl I was dating was waiting for me when I got there. So I missed like I forget how much. I missed the first few minutes of it.
Chad, I'm judging you. I saw it opening night at the Galleria. I wasn't on a date either, but I felt superior to the people who were dressed up in line. I didn't even wear a Batman like logo t-shirt, and that made me feel better. I was so freaking excited. All right, here's my lead up to the movie, because again, Superman the movie was it for big budget, good superhero movies. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. And I remember that it was Entertainment Tonight had like it was a normal Entertainment Tonight, but they're like going, don't forget, we have the first exclusive look at Batman. And I'm like, oh boy. And I'm basically like, Mom, leave me alone. Robin, shut up. And I'm just like, here it comes. And they do essentially in the trailer, they showed the Batmobile scene of it hustling along with the theme, and the thing of him going, Jack's dead, my friend. Call me Joker. And it's the first I've seen of the makeup. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it's like, who are you? Who are you? I'm Batman. I was like, oh, I'm just there. So I watched it. I loved it. It blew my mind. I still have nitpicks. Even things I love, I can nitpick. It's like, this movie's almost perfect.
Yeah, let's back up just a second, because the noteworthy thing about this is, do you remember when the news broke that Michael Keaton was playing?
Oh, it was huge. The outpouring of how dare they.
What was your reaction to hearing that?
I did not see it. I liked Michael Keaton. I have always liked Michael Keaton. And I also always thought, like, especially because in Johnny Dangerously, the comedy he made, him in the suit, like in that, he's playing like a natty gangster of like the 1930s, and he's walking around doing like a James Cagney, and he's in these suits, and I was like going, he's a handsome guy, he's got those cool eyebrows. I'm like, but I was like, he is a little dude, and plus, he's not bulked up. I was like, maybe he'll exercise and get all bulked up. He got very fit. You do see him like, shirtless in the one hanging upside down scene, but I was just like, you're gonna have to sell me on this. And that's what Tim Burton did.
Yeah, and it's not, we'll get to this, but this isn't the most physical Batman that we've seen since then. He kind of just intimidates people. He doesn't really, there's not a whole lot of action.
There are some action scenes, and they're filmed and edited really well to imply much more action than you're actually seeing. And it has to do with, I don't think it's because he couldn't have done it, and I'm sure that he was getting physically trained. It had to do with that suit, which for them, that's a first time. That's a first time out, and they're trying to figure it out. That's one of the nitpicks. I love this movie, but they kept getting better at the cowls. Just over the course of several movies, they kept getting better at how to make it tight on the head, looking good, and also with enough movement. Because in this movie, very famously, he can't move his head.
He can't even do this. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's looking around with just his body, his shoulders, and all that kind of stuff. And it can look really awesome, but at the same time, you do get to recognize that you're like, dude, you're screwed if someone drops something in front of you, because you'd be like, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, that was a grenade. Boom.
Because it is interesting. I'm sure we'll talk about this later too. But the fact that when he did his return in The Flash, we had some of the greatest, awesome action.
Yes,
from Keaton as Batman in that movie that we didn't get in his two movies back then, because
it's literally
saying,
just because the tech didn't get there.
Yeah.
I think the idea of like a full body rubber muscle suit was still kind of new, and they had to figure out how to make the cowl, and I think they got it. It looks okay. And certainly I can put my brain back in 1989 and go, holy hell, that looks amazing.
Oh, it
Even
looks
though it
great.
is a much bulkier thing than they eventually give him.
Yeah.
And not just him, like Val Kilmer and
Hmm.
say what you will about Clooney, it's a good looking suit. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
they figure out how to do bat suits along the line. But here's our first outing. And I think making them all black was another good choice, simply because they're like, that will disguise a lot of anything awkward in this being a rubber bodysuit. Keeping the yellow circle around the bat. They don't do that anymore, and I'm always happy to see it. I'm like, yeah, yellow circle on the bat. Yeah, the bat on, yeah. So yeah, this all worked. When I watched it, I was like, okay. It wasn't until multiple views. Like, obviously, I went to see it several times in the theater, and of course I owned it on VHS and then, DVD, and now I've got the Blu-ray. It's very nice. I'm still impressed with Tim Burton coming out of because this isn't like what he did before, but it starts making sense that he's the guy doing this. He is actually engaged. I don't think, even though I think this was a job brought to him, I think he did say, ooh, where can I excite myself with Batman? And he's got these great, very comic book Dutch angles, like crazy camera moves. And I'm just like going, yeah, he's trying to make this as kinetic as possible. And I still look at it going like, man, that is about as good as that's ever going to look. This thing is great. I really do love the Batman, but I still think the Batmobile we get in this first movie, I don't think they topped it. I'm just like, damn, that is full on. And there are moments that I just totally dig. And then and of course, when it just opens on Gotham City, and it's a combo of like model, matte painting, some digital whatever, and you just
Oh, it's
go,
gorgeous. Yeah.
yeah. And Danny Elfman's score. The whole thing is that they immediately say you're in a comic book universe.
Hmm.
Now, Superman the movie didn't, because it was really our world, other than we go to Krypton. But then we have a very stereotypical Smallville, which is great.
Hmm.
And Metropolis is just New York. And you're like, fine, that's perfect. But this was him going like, no, they're not in the same world. I'm creating Batman's world, and this is what it looks like. Anton Furst, the set director, just unbelievable. And yeah, Tim Burton was like, we don't really have to do reality. Okay. What's the time period? Who knows? Here are cars from the 70s and the 50s and da 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 da.
What else was Anton known for?
What did he do before this? Because I know that it was something sci-fi-ish, which is why they're like, reach out to that guy. But his Gothic architecture and the huge statues and all that stuff was a perfect choice.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
Oh, of course, of course. All of it hits you immediately. And the Batman animated series took all of its cues. It's like, yeah, we don't need to pick a decade. It can just be the stylized Gotham world.
You know what? I saw a little bit about this film on YouTube. It just popped up the other night. And I hadn't thought about this movie in a long time, but Dark City, which came out about 10 years later, really looks a lot like Gotham.
Yeah, because again, it's in a stylized.
Of course, that's another movie that takes place completely at night. There's no daylight. Well, are there any daylight shots in this movie in Batman?
Yes.
Is it all? There are? Okay.
There are.
Mostly at night. Yeah.
Mostly at night. There's the scene on the City Hall steps. There's actually like two scenes on the City Hall steps. And also the scene where he goes and lays the roses down where his parents have been shot. Great writing beat. I sit there going like, oh, that's nice. That's good. And Vicky Vale's curious. But yes, Bruce Wayne's walking around in shades, but it's the daylight.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are a few daylight shots. It's mostly at night. I also like how stylized that Burton immediately goes in with, because he's got this dark comedic sensibility. Anyone that's a villain in the movie, it's not enough that they're dressed like scuzzies. They've got like sunken eyes. They've done makeup on them. They all look like they're diseased, essentially. And you're like, God, the first two muggers at the beginning of it, you've got the normal looking tourists who get mugged, but these guys look like they've got some sort of disease.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then of course later when the makeup products and no one can use makeup and so forth, and it's like the news anchors look totally greasy and with sunken eyes, huge zits. Yeah, it's like, God. We're in the 14th day of God.
Yeah, there is a little that was some of the moments where the humor gets almost like airplane style, like, that was a little silly. Obviously, it was deliberately silly, but
There's a lot of the Joker moments, which I mean, the casting is perfect.
Wait till they get a load of me.
The only problem I ever had with Nicholson as the Joker is the fact that it's 20 years too late. Like
yeah,
I don't, in the original draft, Bruce Wayne and Jack Napier are the same age, which I would always want the Joker and Batman to be around the same age, because otherwise it's a fit young man beating the shit out of a middle-aged.
right.
Like, I kind of want them to be a match. Instead, this makes him older. And because of that, it's Jack Nicholson who's perfect because he can be very funny, but that edge is always there. And
Mhm.
I loved that when I first saw it. I was like, yes, I love the Adam West TV show, but that is for a different era and a different kind of Batman. And so Cesar Romero is perfect as a goofy Joker who only comes up with wacky plans. This Joker kills indiscriminately, talks to corpses. He has a sidekick for the whole movie, Bob, that he just randomly shoots towards the end. I'm like, perfect. There's no reason he shot Bob other than he wanted to shoot Bob for that 1 second, and it's great. So I just sit there going like, he's your perfect guy, but he's a chunky older dude.
Yeah, there's also the thing too, and I don't. He's wonderful in the role, and I think that he's kind of helped to define the character to a similar extent that Mark Hamill did with his voicing of him in the animated series. But at the same time, it's like he's still just Jack Nicholson. And he's doing a great performance, but it's like it's kind of hard to look past the fact, oh, there's Jack Nicholson.
He is perhaps too big a star to have disappeared into it. But I still think I'm not too bothered by it. I am bothered because I'm such a comic purist, that I don't like there being this origin. The great thing about the Joker is we don't know who he was, other than he was the Red Hood.
Where did this Jack Napier thing come from? Was that just
Came
something
from the
made up
screenwriters.
from this movie?
Yeah. The idea of jackanapes, as in a Joker type character, a Harlequin. It's like, oh, that's clever. Jack Napier, jackanapes. But making him a gangster. The idea of the Joker being someone that Batman never did find out his true identity. All he knew about him was he was pretending, or he was the Red Hood, which could have been several people under this helmet committing crimes, and then that happens to be a crime at the chemical factory.
Yeah,
the Red Hood tumbles into the acid, comes out, he's the Joker.
Yeah, it's cool that they did keep that.
Yeah.
But James Gunn said in a really one of those really great interviews. He's been giving a lot of interviews recently, but he talks about Batman in one of them briefly and says that he kind of prefers the origins where Joker doesn't have anything to do with who killed his parents. Actually, what he said is he prefers origins that where Bruce Wayne never finds out who killed his parents, because that keeps him fueled. It keeps him
the Joe Chill
taking
thing.
it out
even
on
in comics. When they eventually named the guy who killed the parents, and he's Joe Chill, and then it's Batman looking for Joe Chill. And there was a very good comic, I can't remember when it was from, maybe the 80s, maybe 70s, where he finds Joe Chill, and Joe Chill is just this broken down, like, loser type guy. And Batman's like all full of revenge, and he's like going, you're just a dude. You're just a stupid dude who, robbed people, and you killed my parents. And it's sort of unsatisfying. Whether or not he ever finds out who did it, I prefer that too. I also prefer, just in general, I prefer when the hero and the villain, they don't have interconnected origins.
Right.
It always bothers me. We talked about Fantastic Four, right? Or maybe we did.
Yeah.
That always bugged me, that when they did those
both movies,
they're like, okay, yeah, Doom is part of the. I'm like, no. It's like, other than them being college roommates or competitors, there's no reason that Victor Von Doom and Reed Richards should have gone through the same thing. Doom's got his own thing. Even Captain America kind of did that, where it's like, oh, the Red Skull actually took an early version of the super soldier serum. And I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Really, guys?
Yeah.
But Marvel still does things so well. I'm like, I'll go with it.
Right. But
Anyway.
that is an interesting thing about this film, is that I'd kind of forgotten about this aspect of it. Is it's not an origin story for Batman.
No.
Which is kind of cool at the time, because that's still it took a long time for Hollywood to kind of shake out the origin story syndrome.
That's why Burton didn't like Mankiewicz.
Really, it's only recently we're getting away from that now.
The Mankiewicz draft, the reason they went to Mankiewicz, it's just like today. You make a successful superhero movie, the studios then think that you're the go-to for superheroes. Doesn't mean like, okay, Mankiewicz nailed Superman pretty well. That doesn't make him the guy you want. Just like it bugs me that Warner Brothers never learned that lesson, because Nolan's Batman Begins is huge. And then they immediately go to Nolan and go, do you want to do Superman? He goes, you don't understand. I love that guy. I don't have a feel for that guy. Will you at least executive produce Zack Snyder's version? Yeah, okay, I guess. Nolan's sitting there going like, Zach, just go make your goddamn movie. I don't.
It's a good Nolan impersonation. Like,
yeah, I've been working on it.
What is your guys? I mean, fuck off. Yeah.
But that's the deal, is that they just assume that it's a catch-all. Superhero equals superhero. And you're like, no, each one is separate. So Mankiewicz's original draft was, he followed the beats just like he did with Superman, where it was all origin. It was all like young Bruce Wayne, then the murders, then him training. Now he's Batman. And by the end, Robin. By the end, it's like, oh, I'll take in this young ward. And Tim Burton was like, no, man, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So he does. He just drops us in. Batman's already going. He's an urban legend. You got people calling him the Bat. It's like, oh, I heard the Bat got him. The Bat.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah, it is early days. Like
it's early days.
He doesn't know Commissioner Gordon yet.
Gordon has never seen him until that scene in the chemical factory. He's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
John loves these movies, but he jumps all over Pat Hingle. The joke of how lame Commissioner Gordon is in these Burton movies. And I'm like,
yeah,
I like Pat Hingle. But they didn't give Gordon much to do.
Well, he's not a really big character. Yeah. He's just kind of there.
The thing I love about it is he clearly knows that Eckhart is a crooked cop.
William Hookins again, by the way.
I know. I wanted to bring him up. That man's career. He's in Flash Gordon. He's in Raiders. Get out of town, man.
4. Yeah, it's insane.
But yeah, he's really good. And again, because Eckhart is crooked, even he's got like some like gross makeup, including all the stubble. He just looks like a horrible, loathsome human being.
Where you been spending your nights?
Yeah, I love his voice in this. Yeah. But what's funny about his performance in Superman 4 is that he's so over the top.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's totally different performance. Superman 4, he's like, well, Superman's a different kind of man,
Yeah,
what's in it for you?
They're doing a cartoon, whole movie.
And this one is like huge.
Yeah.
Where you been spending your nights?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
totally
great.
Different performance. Yeah.
Totally different. But I will also say Michael Gough, great Alfred.
Yeah, he's excellent. And he continued to reprise that role, right?
He did, sadly. He dies in Batman and Robin, which I still haven't seen, but I know he dies in it. And supposedly Batgirl is his niece, grandniece or something. Instead of her being Barbara Gordon, she's connected to Alfred's family. And I'm like, fuck that. There's so much fuck that there.
Okay, so we're an hour in. We still haven't started our breakdown yet.
Oh, okay.
Oof. Yeah, gorgeous. Starts off some gorgeous shots of Gotham, as we're just saying.
Yeah.
Gorgeous matte paintings, models. Oof, it's just amazing. And so then we're kind of teased. We see what looks like it's going to be the origin of Batman, but it's not.
Yes, because you got a family coming out of the theater and they're wandering around the streets. But then you realize they can't be the Waynes because they are clearly tourists. They're like, no, I know where I'm going. Put that map away. It makes us look like tourists. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And you get to see right off the bat what a mess Gotham is.
Yes.
Kind of reminds me too. This was a couple of years after Brazil. The set design does kind of remind me of a lot of the shots, like the exterior of the city hall and
Yeah.
the museum where Joker later is vandalizing everything.
Yes.
A lot of it looks like the set designs from Brazil. But
Yeah.
the fact society in Gotham is just a total mess.
I think that there's a particular Germanic school of architecture that both Gilliam is like, if you want something oppressive as a city, it's like go with that sort of brutalistic Gothic architecture, and that does half your work. It looks like a horrible place to be. And they did the same with Gotham. So I'm like, yeah, that looks exactly the way I imagined Gotham. There's a prostitute who actually flirts with the little boy.
I know. I was about to mention that.
It's like, okay,
What?
man. The mom like yanks him away. It's kind of funny. But yeah, they end up going down an alley. Boy, that's a big mistake. And two scumbags come out. Oh, actually, the first one's begging for money. He's like,
Yeah, give me $1.
Give me $1. Ooh. But he comes up behind them and he's got a partner and they mug him. They knock the man unconscious. And he's like, do yourself a favor. Don't scream. Points a gun at the lady and the kid. And the second he turns away, she does scream. And Batman, we're just seeing little shadows, is like clearly, animated too.
Yeah, the very first time we see him, he's animated. It's strange.
It's strange.
Very obviously animated too, but
yeah,
it's very
Tim Burton-y.
Very Tim Burton.
There are a couple of parts that are that, and also at the end when the Joker falls off the building, where you're like going,
Yeah.
oh, he turned into a cartoon.
Yeah, that's so weird.
But I'll buy it. So yeah, they are up on the roof and they're dividing up the money and they're talking about, man, you heard about this guy? He's like, oh yeah, I hear the bat got him. He's like, no, he drinking Drano and he stepped off the roof. He goes, I heard the bat got him. There's no such thing as the bat. Guess what there is? Because right behind them, Batman does his cool. He does a lot of descending in this movie. Comes down with the cape and then does that theatrical and dropping the cape, walks through the smoke, basically just kicks ass. He literally kicks one of the dudes through a doorway and that guy's out. The other guy's alive, tries to run, gets a batarang right around the ankles. And that's the famous, who are you? What? Who are you? He goes, no, don't kill me. Don't kill me. He's like, not going to kill you. Who are you? And he goes, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
I want you to do me a favor. Tell all your friends about me.
I have seen alternate cuts.
Oh, really?
Pretty amazing. One of them's like, hi, I'm Batman. And I was like, ooh, not a good take, Michael Keaton. Like, who are you? Who are you? Hi, I'm Batman. I'm glad they went back and said, could you do one that's a little bit more threatening? He's like, I guess.
And this does kind of remind me the what he does here is some of the early action comics where Superman is doing similar things, like picking up, like to torture guys to get information out of them, picking them up and jumping up at the top of the building, like, oh god,
it's a classic Batman move. He's done a lot, and actually, I thought one of the best they've ever done it is, in fact, Nolan. I do love that scene where he's got the guy hanging upside down. He goes, "Oh my god!" He goes, "Pray to me." It's like, Jesus Christ, you would shit yourself 18 times. But and that's part of the Batman thing is he's allowing. You can tell. He wants the criminal underworld to think he might kill them, that he's much more violent than he really is, that he might actually drink your blood. It's like, it's all that rep does good. Well, so and tell your friends about me.
This does get into one of the nitpicks, which I'm sure you're about to mention.
What is it?
Well, he kills. He does kill.
Man, does he kill.
Indiscriminately.
I saw someone online. Not indiscriminately. It's really...
Well, he blows up that entire
that's the
chemical plant. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He blows up the chemical plant with people inside of it.
Using his car as a drone, basically, to go in there.
Someone on Twitter actually said, I was today years old when I realized that George Clooney's Batman is the only one that has not killed on film. And I mean, I haven't seen Batman and Robin, but I'll take him at his word because it's true. In Nolan, the thing is that Batman is never shown as, well, in this one, it is kind of hard to justify because he does literally just blow some people up.
Yeah.
I prefer Batman not killing.
Oops.
Yeah.
It would have been nice. The movie would have been a little stronger, I think, as far as
Had
establishing
that
his
not
character.
been in there. I do
Yeah.
like the idea of those, like he can shield his entire Batmobile and just those grenades pop
Yeah.
off. It's a pretty
Shield.
neat visual.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like, maybe him going like, you guys now have, 15 seconds to get out of the building.
Yeah.
He could have given them
something
a
like
head
that.
start, and you
Right.
could see them running out and then the place going up.
Yeah, they could have done. I mean, it's so funny. We just did Superman 4, where the stupid scene where they send the 2 guards flying over this cliff, and that doesn't even kill them when it obviously would.
Stupid scene. Don't you mean awesome scene? I don't get you, Chad.
Anyway, getting back to the scene, I do like the way it wraps up with after the Batman disappears and the guy that he was just torturing
Has lost his mind.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god,
he's gibbering. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's great.
I do love scenes of Batman just sort of spreading the word, and I do love the idea of early days him being this sort of mythical figure. So I think that's portrayed well. What happens next? Is it like Harvey Dent?
Yeah, it's Harvey Dent for district attorney.
I love this casting too.
And this mayor who looks just like Ed Koch. I thought that
I
was
know. I'm glad you caught that. I mean, again, we're of the right age, but it was
Yeah.
clear when they're like doing Gotham, they're like going, we just need a guy who looks and sounds like Ed Koch.
Yeah.
And that's exactly him.
I kind of wish we were talking about Jim. Here we see Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
As
Harvey Dent.
and unfortunately a very small part as Harvey Dent. Because I love Billy D. Williams, and
Me too.
I kind of wish that they had cast him. Of course, this would require them giving Commissioner Gordon a bigger role. I think he would have been great if they had if Commissioner Gordon was actually more of a partner or a collaborator with Batman in this, which
like they did with Gary Oldman, like they did with Jeffrey Wright. Yeah, it's good.
Even in the original movies, the original Adam West series, Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, it's not really true. In that one, Commissioner Gordon is not elderly, but he's an old dude.
Right, I know, but he's around. You see him a lot in that.
Yeah, you do. I mean, the part should have. I can see them desperately trying to balance all these characters, and that they are introducing Harvey Dent just for. It's like they basically said, Billy D, we're going to sign you up for like a 3-picture deal, and you will be Two-Face by the 3rd movie.
And it's a shame they never got around to that.
Well, they did in Batman '89, the comic, just like with Superman '78.
Right. Which I still haven't gotten that. I have Batman 66.
Oh, you should definitely get. Oh, Batman 66 is great.
Oh, I don't know where I put it. I've got it somewhere.
It's behind Batman the Black Glove. Black Glove. I saw it when you took that down.
Oh yeah, woo, there it is.
Does that one have Chris's issue in it?
No, I think it's the next volume after. This is volume 1.
So good.
I peeked through it to see if it's in there, but yeah.
But yeah, that's perfect. And he would have made a great Commissioner Gordon. I think that he's a great Harvey Dent, and luckily, Sam Hamm got, DC Comics was like, hey, why don't you just continue what you would have been doing? And he's like, all right. And so now there have been 2, just like with Superman '78, it's had 2 miniseries. Batman '89 has had 2. And the second one is Batman '89 Echoes, and it's just wrapping up. It's where we finally get Winona Ryder as Batgirl.
Oh.
Because, they cast these comics like how we would have cast them. Mm-hmm. So they introduced Barbara Gordon, and she's drawn like 80s Winona Ryder. And you're like, oh, yeah, I bet they would have done that. Only with red hair, because, of course, Batgirl, red hair. So, yeah, they're basically going like, Harvey Dent's going to be new district attorney. He's like going, we're going to clean up filthy Gotham. And I think then we cut to Grissom, the bad dudes.
No, not yet.
No.
Now we see Jack Napier.
Oh, yes.
And Jerry Hall.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a brief scene with Jack Napier, and
the whole thing is to show us that they're having an affair behind Grissom's back,
right.
Which is something that Jack is a little too cocky about. Like, well, he'll never find out.
Yeah,
and then they decide that Jack Napier is a dapper gangster, cocky, knows what he's doing, and he's constantly playing with cards. He's got his lucky deck.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. And again, it's a Joker origin. I'll take it, but I would have loved it if he had been younger. And that's either just don't cast Jack Nicholson and find a Jack Nicholson-like person, that would have been age appropriate. Then we wouldn't have to have Joker killing Batman's parents.
Yeah. And the casting of Jerry Hall, I know she doesn't. There's not much for her to do in this movie, but this was such a thing of the times because she was a very, very visible. She was a big star of the 80s. Everybody knew who she was at this point.
It wasn't a big star. I mean, she was one of the supermodels, and no one ever thought she was a good actress. But she was
Mick Jagger's wife.
Yeah, she was known, and she
Yeah.
was a model. And here, all she has to do is like go, "You look fine, Jack. I hope Gus doesn't find out about you."
So then we do get to the criminals that Batman was terrorizing in the first scene. Going, ha, ha, ha. They're in straitjackets and being put in an ambulance. And then we see William Hootkin's character for the first time.
Yeah.
And
Eckhart.
Robert Wool. How do you say his name? Robert Wool?
Robert Wool.
Wool. Yeah.
This is Wool. Yeah, and he was a guy of the time. I
Yes.
like him, and he's necessary, I guess. The problem is that he only has one setting in this movie. There are a couple times and I don't mind him being the funny guy, the quippy guy, but there is few instances where I'm like going, maybe even he would dial it down a little. The way he's so blatantly mocking a crime boss to his face, like when he's interviewing him and I'm like going, dude, do you have any self-preservation?
Yeah.
He's like going, did you guys do time together as kids? And he's like laughing to all the other reporters. I'm sitting there going, that guy's going to go home, and the second he opens his door, his apartment will explode. He's an idiot. But yes, Knox, who's completely made up for the movie, and he is a reporter.
So then we see, what is Hootkin's character's name again?
Eckhart.
Eckhart, right. We see Eckhart meeting. We see that he's a crooked cop. Because he's meeting with Jack Napier off in the shadows.
Literally, they're taking a couple of criminals away, and Eckhart goes maybe 15 feet away, turns a corner, and someone goes, "Here's money for you." It's like, great, thanks.
Yeah, and I really didn't recognize Hookins at first here because he's a little heavier than he was even in Superman 4, which was right before this.
What's funny is,
and he's got this scraggly beard.
They created Harvey Bullock, the GCPD detective guy. They created him in the comics around the same time, and he's in the animated series. It's almost like they wanted to have Eckhart, but not have him be a bad guy, but have him be this slovenly cop.
Yeah,
because if you change his name, he could be Bullock. It's just that would make Bullock a crooked bad cop.
Yeah.
In the comics, Bullock may have been crooked in the past, but Commissioner Gordon comes to trust that he's on the right side.
Yeah.
So he's just the stinky big fat cop.
Right. They kind of did that with Bullock in the Gotham series.
Yes. Yeah.
He was. I forget who that actor's name was.
That's Donald Logue.
He was fantastic in the role.
Fantastic, even though I never pictured Bullock as being like, because Donald Logue, you can tell by his name, is the Irish guy of all Irishy guys. But he is a really good actor, so he was a good choice.
Yeah, and he's kind of a gruff. He is a little crooked when the series first starts, but he's a good-hearted guy, and he eventually, Gordon, Gordon, I think, becomes commissioner in like the very last episode or something. I forget.
Right.
He starts off, he's just another cop on the
and by the end of the series, doesn't he grow the mustache? So they go, oh yeah, you finally are what we've imagined. Just like you get 10 seasons into Smallville and he pulls his shirt open for the first time, there's an S, and you're like, oh my God, it only took a decade. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, this is where we see this gorgeous set that they built for the exterior of City Hall.
Yeah.
Looking very much like Brazil. There's an establishing shot of the street with cars going by where you see these ducks coming out of the building that looks totally like straight out of Terry Gilliam's.
When you move back, like when you're just on the staircase, it actually is a little bit similar to the TV show Courthouse from the old Batman show with those steps, which actually is on the Warner Brothers backlot. I used to sit and eat lunch on the steps of the old Gotham City Courthouse. Hey, but yeah, up close. And then when they pull back, it is an Anton First building. So yes, you get those huge ducks and all that. And you're like going, dude, he was probably a tortured dude, but what a talented artist. The design of this place.
Oh, it looks fantastic. Yeah.
And it did influence even the comics later. And it was so amazing. They're like, yeah, why doesn't Gotham have its own aesthetic? Let's do that.
Yeah. Which
every building has gargoyles. It has to, because Batman's got to have a place to roost.
I really hope that when Gunn comes around to doing his Batman, that they do something. I mean, it doesn't have to. I don't want it to look exactly like this stuff, but I hope that they do that. You know, they give
Yeah.
Gotham its own personality, because we really haven't had that since this.
I definitely want a shared universe where whatever, David Cornsweat Superman's Metropolis, I want it to be able to exist in the same world as the Batman we're going to get. But why can't, Chicago and New York have different, architecture styles and aesthetics. So I hope they do that. Yes.
So then we get to the scene where
the whole thing is that it's a not even a B plot, it's like a D plot about Gotham's 200th anniversary parade.
Right.
There's not enough money to have it. And that's another great thing, is like Gotham is not just a cesspool, it's struggling and it can't even afford to celebrate its own birthday. So yeah, the mayor's like, we're gonna have a celebration. All going, I don't know where you're gonna get the money. And that will tie into the end with the Joker, and he's like, I'm gonna give you a parade. It's gonna be 2 cars and 4 balloons, but I'm gonna give you a parade.
So then we get to the newspaper,
where, whatever
where
the
Robert Wool's character where Knox works,
and they're mocking him because he's the only guy seemingly believing the tales of this mysterious bat that is beating up criminals.
Yeah, this artist, the staff artist, hands him this as a joke. Hands him a
it was supposed to actually be Bob Kane. Like, Bob Kane was actually supposed to be the guy handing it off to him.
Oh,
and I guess Bob Kane couldn't act.
Did he actually draw this picture of the bat in the suit?
Here's the thing about Bob Kane and drawing. I almost guarantee he didn't draw it at all.
That's what I was going to ask. It's like, because I saw this, it's like, oh.
But the thing about Bob Kane, comics' greatest survivalist, as in, he was smart, but he does not deserve your respect because he took credit for everything. He was smart enough to get name credit, so therefore ownership or partial ownership of Batman was with him, and something at Siegel and Schuster just were too young and they just didn't know. So Bob Kane just gets so much credit as the guy who created Batman. Bob Kane couldn't draw. He traced so much of his shit in the early days, and I guarantee you by maybe the 4th issue of Batman, he probably didn't even touch it. He had guys drawing in that style, and he had a it's like, great guys, oh yeah, that looks like mine. He'd sign his name to it. So that dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a little wink. This newspaper cartoonist has drawn a Batman in a suit, but with big bat wings and a bat head. And he goes, this your guy? And very prominently is Bob Kane's signature over on the left. And you're going, yay.
Yeah.
Here's something, again, here's a tale from Warner Brothers in their museum, which is where they had the Superman suit so I was like, oh my God, I want to touch it. That sounds gross. They had under glass stuff from Batman also. And one of it was a typewritten letter from Bob Kane to the production offices of the film. It's not directed to Tim. It might have actually said, Dear Tim and Company or whatever, but it's like, here's what you need to know about the character I created. And they actually have it. You can read it under glass. And he's just like going, I always think that Batman, it's like, no offense to the TV show, but it missed out on the Mysterioso effect. He goes, it needs to all be kind of dark. And I'm like, thanks, Bob. Yeah, wow. Real big breakthrough there, pal. Thanks to you, we got the movie we got. Anyway, sorry, I'm real anti Bob Kane.
Yeah, I know.
Do I own a signed Bob Kane book? Yes, I do. You don't know why? It's worth money.
Anybody who watches that documentary about Bill Finger, which I highly recommend. I want to rewatch it. It's been years since I've seen it.
Is it Batman and Bill?
Nobody's going to come out of watching that documentary not disliking Bob Kane.
Right. Because he took credit for not just, obviously, the art. He was taking credit for the creation of Robin and the Joker and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like going, no, man. It's like Jerry Robinson's helping out, but Bill Finger is a lot of the stuff you love about Batman, it was that guy.
Yeah.
Literally, Bill Finger looked at the original drawings, was like, Bob, what? He should look like a bat. How about, like, you don't see his eyes, that they're like these white slits. And what if he has these pointy ears? he didn't draw it, but he literally was like going, what you have there, which is just a handsome dude in a little domino mask, and he's wearing red and green. He's like, that's some bullshit right there. He's like, what about gray and black?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Anyway, yes, watch that documentary. Highly recommend it. Anyway.
So now we get Vicky Vale, who's waiting for Knox.
Yes. That's Knox
his desk.
going, hello, legs.
Yeah.
It's one of the most cringy lines of dialogue in
Yeah.
the entire movie.
And this is it's strange that they're immediately flirting with each other. And it's almost like
he's flirting with her, and she is she's
rolling with
him.
it. Yeah.
She's humoring him.
Because she needs information from him.
She's a former fashion photographer who decided to become a photojournalist, took a hard left and went to like war scenes.
Yeah.
And he knows of her, and he's like, wow, what the hell are you doing here? And she goes, I'm very interested in this bat story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we see she shows, the cover of Time magazine that Corto Maltese. I
do love that it's Corto Maltese, because that's a famous fake
That's a
country.
cut from the comics. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but their banter here reminded me, like he's on the desk leaning and talking to her. Reminded me very much of like a musical from the 50s or 60s, like or 40s, like Singing in the Rain or something, like just kind of, hey, this very sort of 40s. Because everything.
Well, they're going for that.
Kind of styled after.
They're going for like the banter, and you're like, okay.
Because the desk. This is 89 when this came out. We had computers at the time.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's using computers in this Gotham. It just looks like
Batman clearly does.
Yeah, but in the newspaper office, there's
you're right.
computers.
I'm not sure there are. There may just be like typewriters and shit.
Yeah,
And let's not forget their microfiche, which is how he does the research and finds the Wayne family shot down. I love it's like Batman 89 microfiche.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So then we get another gorgeous model, which is Jack. What's his name? Grissom.
Yeah,
this is his office at the top of this building. Yeah,
and outside of his office window are these two like statue busts that are part of the building. Out, and you're like, I know it is always dark and horrifying in Gotham, but that's pretty sweet, man, to be able to look out and you just got that view. Yeah. But he's up there and he's basically like, okay, boys, and I'm going to need you guys to go and do a thing and blah, blah, blah. He doesn't know about, or no, I think he does suspect already, because she comes in while they're having their meeting.
Yeah.
And he notices her looking at Jack and Jack kind of grinning. And I think he does know, because the next thing he does is he tells him, you're going to go and take care of this thing.
Right.
We're never quite sure what stuff is at the Axis Chemicals thing, but they're like, you're going to go there. You're going to make it look like it was an industrial robbery, like knock some stuff over, get the goods out of the safe, and then get out of there. And you're going to take him, Jack. And Jack is a high enough lieutenant in this mob. He's like, me?
Yeah.
And this is what and he's like going, I need you to do it. You're my number one guy.
Yeah.
I do love, this is part of the Jack Palance renaissance around this time, and City Slickers in this is kind of where like people are going like, Jack Palance, he's still got it. And he's kind of funny. So yeah, this one was like,
I'm on vacation. Right.
And then later in the movie, when Jack Nicholson gets to do his Jack Palance impression, it's pretty fucking hilarious. You are my number one guy. So anyway, so he basically says, yeah, go take care of it. And by the way, Jack Napier is in like a black suit in the beginning. Now he's in a purple suit. It's almost like he's evolving.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like he'll become the Joker.
Yes.
So yeah, he goes, okay, fine. Where do we go from there?
Now we're at the Wayne Mansion.
Where do we go from here? Now that Batman is doing a thing. Sorry. Is this the party at
the big party at the Wayne Mansion? It's like a fundraiser or something. What are they doing?
Yes, yeah, probably a fundraiser for the 200th anniversary thing.
Right.
And it's like, well, they're having a big party at the Wayne Manor, but I can't get an invitation. She goes, well, I've got one because I'm sassy.
Yeah, he does try to interview Dent, but he slips away.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah, he does his ghosts and goblins. I love that line. He's like going,
Yeah, Gordon and Dent kind of slip away from him. They're at a craps table, or
Yes.
they're playing. They're
This
gambling.
scene is kind of our intro to Bruce Wayne. We are actually pretty far into the movie. We've seen Batman already. I do think this is structured really well because we're just now getting Bruce Wayne. And it's all about the periphery. Like, he is clearly a rich guy, but he looks uncomfortable there. Which is, Bale actually did the whole, like, I'm a millionaire playboy. This is like Bruce Wayne is, I guess this is what playboys do. Whatever. It's like millionaires. Okay. But what I love all through the scene, besides all the bits of business, well, actually, the bits of business is what I love. Alfred running around correcting all of his mistakes.
Yes, yeah.
So, like, a great idea. I don't know if it was in the script or they came up with it on the moment, but Bruce Wayne's like stuck with a pen that someone walked off with. He doesn't know what to do. He just shoves it into a plant, and Alfred just swoops behind him, lifts it, and then he's got his empty glass, doesn't know what to do with it, leaves it on like the pool table or whatever, and Alfred swoops in to pick it up.
Yeah.
God, that's great.
Yeah.
And yes, Vicky Vale talks to him and goes, do you know which one of these guys is Bruce Wayne? And he goes, no.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not really sure. And she's like, okay, great. That was useless. And Knox is basically on the record. Hey, Commissioner. And he's like, shut up, Knox.
Yeah.
And then he is getting called over by one of the cops who's like going, something's going down in Axis Chemical. And we got a tip on it. And he goes, oh, who's in charge of that? He goes, Eckhart. He goes, oh my God. He says, oh my God, a few times. That's one of John's favorite lines is the reaction to Eckhart. He's like, oh my God. That guy's in charge. So he already knows something's fishy. So he's basically leaving the party. And Knox and Vicky Vale go into a side room, has this armory with all these big suits of armor. Jokes are made. And he goes, where do you think this thing came from? And Bruce Wayne's walked up right behind him and goes, Japan. He goes, and just knocks him around and goes, yeah, and how do you know that? He goes, because I bought it in Japan. Which is the big reveal. Oh my God, you're Bruce Wayne.
Is there any significance to these suits that are in there? There's like, looks like something like a Sandman suit.
No, there's no, I think all it is it's very Tim Burton. Because you could have easily just put in suits of armor, a Shogun, like a Shogun outfit, some sort of, there are plenty of, he wanted to go weird. So he went weird with it. Even the one suit of medieval armor that's in it has all these like weird pikes sticking out of it.
Yeah.
And that World War One-ish kind of thing that's like a sort of a gas mask. And
right, that's what I was looking at.
None of them would have these little tubes sticking out. It's literally, he just went, I think he wanted them to be extreme and cartoony. Because that's a Tim Burton thing.
Oh, well.
But also we see that Bruce Wayne is informed by Alfred, Commissioner Gordon had to leave, and he's like, oh. And basically it's the signal of like, yeah,
to leave in a hurry.
Yeah, so Bruce Wayne ducks into the Batcave. We also see that there's two-way mirrors in the place.
Mm-hmm.
But he uses his fantastic video technology to, because I love the fact, this is one of those movie things I've never liked, which is when he watches his own surreptitious video of Gordon getting the info, it's just what we just saw.
Yeah.
It's literally from the movie camera. So it's not like something that up in a weird corner of the ceiling.
Right.
But yes, so he gets to hear the whole conversation. He's like, oh. And then I guess he has to go.
It is, to his credit, it is kind of zoomed out. It's not cropped as close.
Yeah.
And it does look like a video feed.
And there's an extra line of dialogue.
Oh, is there?
That's something I've noticed on a million watches, is that so it must have been another take, or they edited the earlier take to take that line out. There's one additional line somewhere in there, but before oh my God.
Yeah.
But so Batman is on his way to Axis Chemical. And we see, I do like this, Jack Napier, they're in the office, they're tearing stuff out. They open the safe. Supposedly they need to get stuff out, and there's nothing in there. And I do like him going, we've been ratted out, boys. Like, that is the most 1940s gangster movie line of all time. We've been ratted out, boys. So they know they're being set up, and probably the cops are going to kill them all. because they're crooked cops. So the cops are in there, but oops. I love that still dressed for the party, Commissioner Gordon shows up with his own cops. And he's like going, I'm in charge here, Eckhart, not Grissom. And he's like, bring him in alive. And so it's basically just shooting and chemical stuff and Jack Napier desperately turning valves and trying to make an escape. And then the Batman shows up in the middle of all this. And I do love everyone's reaction. Like every time someone, like, we get Gordon going like, oh my God, different. Oh my God. But he's like, oh my God. And then Napier, who's actually startled. I do like the fact he's like, oh, what are you? And Batman just gives him that grin. It's pretty awesome. He's like,
there's like cool costume or something like that.
Yeah. And nice he just sort of cracks this grin. You're like, ooh, that's creepy. But yeah, so then they fight and Napier shoots and it ricochets. It doesn't hit Batman. It ricochets and it pierces his jaw, pierces his cheeks. So that's where he gets the weird smile from that. Then he falls. Oh, first he shoots Eckhart. I do like that because he knows he's been set up. He's like, Eckhart, think about the future. Shoots him.
Yeah.
And then he's hanging. And to his credit, Batman's trying to save him. He's trying to pull him up. He's right over a vat of green chemical. And he's trying to pull him up, but it doesn't work. He falls into the chemicals. Man, I'm telling you, this is about as comic book accurate, even though we didn't get the Red Hood. But yeah, he falls into the chemicals. He ends up washing out. And then the lucky deck, the cards start floating up. And then the hand comes out and it's a white hand with green fingernails.
Yeah.
Please, Mr. Gunn, have the courage when we get a new Joker. Don't have him be painting his face. Don't have him being the Heath Ledger thing. Have it be a man who fell in a vat of chemicals and now has white skin and green hair. Yeah. Just have that. Just give us the Joker. Yeah. All these people trying to outthink it. It's like, oh no, he's doing it for effect. No, I love this thing. The next scene where he's in the surgery, one of my favorite scenes of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, it is great.
He's like, he goes, let's see how we did. Like, this is a crime doctor in a low rent thing. And he's unwrapping and he's like, yeah, let's do it. And Napier's like, yeah. Let me see how it turned out. And then he goes, mirror. And he's already looking at him going, oh, no.
He's backing away. Yeah.
Mirror.
Yeah.
And he gets it. And when he looks at himself, it's all in the body language because this is beautifully shot from behind his silhouette. And it's just Jack Nicholson. Like first it's like this sinking of like, oh my God, I'm a monster. But then he just starts to giggle and he smashes the mirror. Oh God.
Yeah. Stumbles out of the place. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I wanted to say too, in this chemical plant fight scene, again, the set direction or the set design, that huge control panel where Jack Napier's turning all the stuff on. God, it's so cool looking. And I don't know if
cool looking. And it actually
I'm assuming everything was just built. Right.
Yes.
Oh, it is practical. Yeah. I was wondering because sometimes when they film these scenes, they'll find an actual plant, and go film there. This all looks like it was built from scratch, and it's just fantastic. The control panel looks like something from the 1930s or something.
Yeah. I think so it was gorgeous. A choice of like, this is what real ones look like, and then Tim Burton's like, great, can we somehow exaggerate it a little bit, but not crazy? He doesn't go. Yeah. It's not a comic book. It's still you just sit there going like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So it was really nice.
I'll take it. I'd buy that for $1.
So then we're back. Yeah. We're back with Vale and Knox after this.
She's fascinated with Bruce Wayne already. And he asked her out. Was that the deal?
Yeah.
Because Knox is like,
says, I've got a date with Bruce Wayne already. He's like, damn it.
I mean, these scenes, some people could think of them as filler, but I actually think the relationship, this is a well done script. I mean, even for all the things that I sit there going like, that's not what I would have done, which we've already talked about some of that stuff. I still think it was really smartly constructed because this humanizes Batman. Obviously, Bruce Wayne he's not putting on a face. He's just so awkward. He hasn't had a connection like this. And so the awkward date of it, and she's like going, do you eat in here a lot? And then he looks around and goes, you know what? I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever
I've
been in
never
this
been
room
in this
before.
room before. Right.
And he's like, you want to get out of
Yeah.
here? And then they just end up eating in the kitchen. And Alfred is telling heartwarming stories of young Master Bruce.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Then they sleep together because you know what?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go into a red sun chamber. He doesn't have to
No.
get rid of his powers.
That's right.
He can all day, all night. But he will still end up hanging from his knees like a bat does.
Yeah. Then we get to the scene where Jack shows up as Joker for the first time in Grissom's office.
Yeah, and again, beautifully shot by Burton, where it's all in shadow and silhouette for a bit as he's walking, and he's like going, first he goes, "Who are you?" And he's like going, "Really? You forgot me so soon?" And he's like walking toward him, and then he's like, "Oh, Jack, it's so great to have you." And he's like going,
"I'm glad you're still alive."
I'm glad you're still alive. And I do love, he goes, "You ratted me out over a woman." Like, that's the thing you can't take. It's like anything else. He's like going, "Seriously? You wanted me killed because of your girlfriend?" Wah! And he's like, "Oh, it's so good to see you, Jack." He goes, "Jack's dead, my friend. Call me Joker." And that's the first big reveal. And then the circus music and him shooting Grissom not once, but about 85 times.
Yeah.
Just dancing around, giggling, and shooting Grissom.
Yeah, it's great.
And then he's looking at the newspaper that has blood on it because, Grissom's dead. And it says, "Winged Freak terrorizes Gotham." And that's where he does the "Winged Freak terrorizes." And he just smears the blood and goes, "Wait till they get a load of me. Come on." And then he starts doing the talking to himself, though.
Yeah, and this is one moment where I think this is where they just let him. Burton was just like, just
apparently,
go.
yeah. Burton was like,
just go,
because he found out that Nicholson was, game to just come up with bits, and so it was a keep rolling, and so he's like going, "Oop."
Oh yeah, I love that. I'm wondering how many different takes of this there might be.
And then he just snaps back and looks at the paper again and laughs. It's like, Jesus.
Because that's improvised. The thing like, whoa.
The my favorite bit is coming up, but it's the mob boss that he fries, and he goes, "You're a hard man." He goes, "I'm awful glad you're dead."
Yeah.
And then he starts walking off screen, and again they just let it roll, and you're hearing him as he's leaving the room. He's like going, "I'm awful glad you're dead." Yeah. He just keeps going and laughing. It's my favorite Joker bit. Ugh.
So what do you think? I never really understood why he, when he shows up at Griffin's office, obviously his intention was to kill him. So he's just himself. He's just his skin is now not naturally, but his skin is just permanently white. Yeah. And so for this next scene, we see him in.
He's got the flesh makeup on.
Yeah. Why? You can still see his face is already messed up.
Well, he's like, "What are you smiling about? You got that stupid grin on your face?"
Yeah.
I think it is a way of. He is a freak. I don't think he, at that point, since he's actually trying to make a smooth grab for power and get all the other mobsters. Like, I've taken over for Grissom, and they know Jack Napier. So I think he is trying to like soften the blow. They don't know that he is a white skinned freak yet. So I think that's it. And then it's not till they're like resistant, especially one guy is like going, "I'm getting out of here." He goes, "Oh, that's fine." It's like, "Just shake it's like, we'll shake on it." And then of course the fact that he's got a killing joy buzzer that fries the guy,
turns the guy into dust, basically.
And it's also, there are two places in this movie where the editing is so great, and they're both Joker moments. And it's this one because he fries the guy. Everyone's sitting there staring and going, "Holy shit!" And he picks up, he raises his hand. We see the joy buzzer, and he does. And the second he does the whoof is the boom of the door opening and the Joker's men rushing in. Mm-hmm. And it's this perfect boom. It's got this rhythm to it. And there's the same thing later in the museum where he freaks out Vicky Vale and he's like, and then right through the window, Batman breaks in on this beat. I'm like, damn, that's good editing. Yeah. But anyway, yes, here it is. He basically tried. It wasn't working. He killed a dude. So now he's got his men coming in saying, "Okay, this is going to be the hard way. I'm going to give you guys a couple of days to think on it." I do love this. So he lets them leave. They've had the Joker's men point guns at them, but they're allowed to leave. And that's when he's talking to the corpse. And he's like going,
Yeah.
so you think I should give him a couple of days? He's talking to and then he starts going, what?
Yeah.
You think I should rub him out now? And that's when he's like going, you're a hard man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're dead.
Yeah.
So that is so good. And then we get
we see Vicky and Knox again, and she's trailing Bruce.
Oh yeah, this is where she sees him do the roses.
Right.
And she's like, later we'll say, what's interesting about that corner? What significance does that have?
Then Knox's interview, he's back at City Hall and he's interviewing some gangster guy. Who is this guy who comes out?
I think this is one of the guys that was that Napier tried to pull in, and this guy is now taking that grab. He's coming out saying, he's not saying Grissom's dead. He's like, he decided to have me take over his businesses for the time being. I don't know why this is on the courthouse steps, but yeah. He comes out going, and they're like going, is Grissom really still alive? And did he really say that? And he goes, yeah, absolutely. And then of course you've got the mimes that are showing up, right? And Bruce Wayne is there still in Bruce Wayne normal clothes. He just happens to have stumbled on this. This is pretty convenient that he's there after he laid the roses down, and Vicky Vale's still taking pictures. All these criminal mimes, and then Joker in a interesting outfit. He's like going, it's true. What he's saying, I was there. I saw it all. I saw Grissom sign it. He lifted his dead hand and signed over the business. He goes, with this very pen, and it's this feather pen. And this is a great right out of the comics kind of thing. He just tosses the feather pen, the quill pen, into the guy's throat, which is clearly poisoned because he's killed him. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh my God. And Bruce Wayne is fascinated because this is the first glimpse he's ever seen of the Joker.
Right.
And he's like, what's going on? This is pretty cool because everyone's ducking for cover because they start shooting. Not to kill people, but I guess just to scatter the crowd. But while they're doing the shooting and everyone's hitting the deck, Bruce Wayne's just walking forward like he's in a trance, like he's trying to get close to the bad guys. And he actually catches a bullet in the arm. As he walks forward. Yeah, I always catch that as it wings his arm and you see his coat go like he has no sense of,
it doesn't even phase him. Yeah.
It doesn't phase him. He's just walking toward, and Vicky Vale is still like, what's going on?
And then the Joker.
Oh, and the Joker and Bruce Wayne have a nice little they just sort of look at each other, and Joker gets in the car and he does the little bye.
Yeah.
This is good stuff.
It's really good. Yeah, then there's this news story that turns out the Joker's watching a TV.
Yeah,
he destroys the TV with this triggered.
There are two. Oh, that's this.
The boxing glove destroys
the boxing glove. Yeah, sorry, this isn't the first news report. And again, this is one of the best lines too. Could someone explain to me what kind of a world we live in, where a man dressed as a bat gets all of my press?
Yeah,
and then he does the whee. This town needs an enema.
Enema. Yeah.
I love the fact that Tracy Walter, who's playing Bob, and Tracy Walter is one of those great 70s character actors. You've seen
everything. Yeah.
He really only has 2 words maybe of dialogue, but he's indispensable. The fact that he's able to stand there, because I think This Town Needs an Enema at least is an improv or something. And also there's that beat and then this, but he's able to just stand there like deadpan. He's able to watch Jack Nicholson do this whole thing. This town needs an enema. And Bob just sort of stands there and goes, I would have lost it.
I hope there's got to be outtakes of him losing it, right?
Man, I would hope so.
Jack Nicholson making him crack up.
So that's so good.
Okay. So then, we have the scene too of him. Bob is bringing him the pictures and the research that he's done, or the pictures of all the...
Yeah, they're trying to give us information without too much exposition, which is, again, good writing, because we're seeing that he is looking at government top secret stuff, like chemical warfare stuff. And that is something he has stolen and is apparently working with, but it's not explicitly said. Instead, he's cutting out pictures of like dead bodies, but also he's cutting out a picture of Vicky Vale. He's like, he's now entranced with Vicky Vale. this is a plot point that does generate a lot of story, and it does lead to the ending, but I keep going, really, Joker? I mean, you're
It
about
doesn't
to
really.
take over Gotham or destroy the whole town, but you get distracted by this
Yeah.
one lady.
It's almost as weird as, I mean, it's not as bad, but like in Supergirl, where the villain gets distracted by the gardener guy. Like,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I have all the
serves no
power
purpose.
in the world, but I need Hart Bachner.
Yeah.
And I think we've all been there. So yeah, in this case, Joker is full, and this is where he starts mentioning, because they build to this, is him talking about him in terms of I'm an artist, and that becomes a through line of like he sees death and destruction as his art forms. That's a good Joker take, but it sort of comes out of nowhere. It's like the second he got the chemical bath and he's wearing these bright clothes, now he's like going, I'm not just a gangster. I've got weird ideas about art and I love dead bodies. Okay, sure. So where are we now?
Well, he goes back to the chemical plant and he starts his plan to use the chemicals to transform, to either kill people or turn other people into to look like him and have the same symptoms as he does.
Oh, as far as they die.
Insane. Well, yeah, but they
yes, it's and
totally,
they call it Smile X in this, which is great. But yeah, they're packing it in normal stuff, grocery products and so forth, health and beauty, and the whole thing of like ship them out a whole new door. And then we get, is this where we get the first like the newscast?
Yes.
So they're talking about news. It's pretty quick, like because they're just immediately. 2 famous supermodels have died mysteriously, and it's like, wow, that was grim. And then they move to the newscaster guy, and while he's talking, the newscaster lady who's off screen is like, and she starts having laughing fits, and they're like, what is her deal? And then she just starts really going. And yeah, this is straight physical comedy, because the whole like flipping back in the chair and her legs just sticking up on
yeah.
So then we get a commercial that the Joker has put in. He's able to override broadcasts in Gotham pretty easily, and he's dancing around in the supermarket. He's like, new Smilex products. I do love that it goes, oh, he's sad, he's been using brand X. It goes, but this one, he's been using Smilex. He goes, get you a grin again and again. So he's doing, he goes, you get them at your grocery store. He goes, chances are you've got them already. It is actually terrifying that
it is.
He kills a lot of people in this movie.
We cut to Bruce watching this on TV at his mansion, and he's just kind of like, huh.
There's something about him. Love that Joker. Yeah, he keeps putting pieces together even before he hears the "You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight." There's something about the Joker that is reminding him of something.
Oh, and the commercial ends with a nod to the Adam West series, because there's a Joker mask that's spinning with these yellow and black things spinning behind him.
Yeah. I could have used less Prince in this movie. Can I just throw that in? I know it was of its time. I know that Warner Brothers had Prince on their label.
Yeah. This is one of the things that made me, because I do really love the movie now, and I appreciate it a lot more than I did at the time. Of course, I showed up late when I first saw it, so I missed the opening.
Dude, the opening is so fucking awesome. Like an overture, and you're swooping through the logo.
But the fact that Prince was used in the marketing and the film and all the stuff, it was kind of shoved in your face.
Yeah.
That, and also I just wasn't a huge fan of Burton's visual directorial style at the time. Oh,
really?
I've come to appreciate it more now, but at the time I didn't like it's even more of an issue for me in the second movie. Although I enjoyed Batman 2, I think
Batman Returns is a better movie. I mean, I like this a lot. It's a better movie, but it's so Tim Burton.
But it's very like the way they did the penguin with his giant mutant penguins and everything. I was like, at the time, it just wasn't. We're going to rewatch that.
And the fact that Catwoman's suit is all stapled together, that's a Burton thing. I mean, it's literally, he found a way to make Batman his own, which is, can I put my aesthetic on the comics? Right. Which is what he did, because the black and whiteness of it, things that are striped, he loves striped shit.
Yeah.
With the balloons at the end are just straight Tim Burton cartoons.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's kind of
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, we'll talk about Batman Returns. Don't worry, my friend. We're going. Yeah, I just don't want Prince in it, because for me, it dates it. And no offense to Prince,
it does. Yeah,
who was pretty awesome. He has no connection here. And at no point do I sit there going, yes, that is what people of Gotham would be listening to right now.
And they're not particularly good Prince songs either.
Party man.
Yeah.
I have seen the future and it will be.
This is not top-notch Prince material. So
Dance.
It's just a little, I just kind of wish it wasn't
Bat Dance. Yeah, no, I'm absolutely the same.
It cheapens it a little bit.
I might almost be like, hey guys, do a fan edit and find some better music to put in there that isn't taking you out and going, hey, Prince, 1989.
Yeah, I mean, have him come in and dancing to, I don't know, Cab Calloway or something, an older song.
That would be great.
Yeah. Anyway,
but no, instead, Party Man. So are we at that scene where Vicky Vale gets the mysterious? Okay.
Well, we see the fallout of the makeup thing.
Oh yes.
We cut back to the anchors, and they look horrible, which is very over. Their hair is all messed up, which is a little silly. It's kind of silly.
It's very silly.
Looks completely hideous. It looks like
it's been 14 days. We can't touch any products.
I will say, having been in a TV studio recently, it was true back in this era that being under those lights, as you know, working in it, you've worked in a TV station too.
Channel 39, Funtime Kids Club.
It's you under those lights for a certain amount of time. It starts becoming, it gets kind of unpleasant.
Yeah.
These days, as I now know from being at KBTX in Bryan, where we've performed a couple songs there now.
Was it cool and refreshing in there?
Yeah, they use LED lighting now, so it's not oppressively hot anymore.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
The camera guys don't even have to be in the room anymore. They're often in another control room using these little cameras you can't even see.
So were you just talking to robots when you were in there?
There were people. We had stage people come in and help us, get set up and stuff. But the people who are actually operating the cameras are not in the room.
Wow.
So
that is very.
It's also, it's not hot. It's not uncomfortable. So, but this, I guess, it's a little silly. The way the anchors look is done for laughs.
Yeah,
but it was true that they would appear to be sweaty and uncomfortable, because it was sweaty and uncomfortable in those studios back in those days.
I think the museum is kind of interesting here because it seems to be one level that has paintings and sculptures, and then upstairs is a restaurant.
There's a restaurant, yeah. The Flugelheim.
The Flugelheim.
A take on Guggenheim, I guess.
Yep.
Looks nothing like the Guggenheim Museum, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, I know that's not right. For one thing, it does seem a little sparse, but the Joker and his men first, she's up there waiting and she's bored, and she gets a little box that says open, urgent, and she opens it and it's like, put this on right now, and it's a little brightly colored gas mask, and she's like, what? And then gas just, again, Joker
Purple
kills
gas.
everyone in here.
Yeah.
Joker kills every single person in here except for her. So she puts on the gas mask, and the gas comes in, everyone drops dead, and then boom, door opens, there's Joker with the flesh tone makeup on, and they come in.
Why did he put the makeup on for this scene?
Doesn't want to freak her out. He actually wants to get somewhere with this lady, and so he's not doing Joker straight up yet. But then, of course, he'll do that, the big reveal, and she screams, and then Batman comes through. So yes, they come in with a big boom box playing Party Man by Prince, and let's make some art. And the whole thing is that they deface a bunch of, and there's a lot of continuity errors in this scene. I tend not to notice is like, there's the Rembrandt self-portrait, and at one point a guy does the red handprints all over it, and then they'll cut back to paintings that are near it or sculptures near it afterwards, and the handprints aren't on there.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, going, all right, it doesn't matter. It's all about chaos in the moment. But yeah, they mock the, like dancers and paintings. They knock over things. They Jokerize a bust, marble bust. It's all that stuff. And then he sits down with her, and it's okay
Oh,
for her to take the gas
Before this
mask
too,
off.
it was to say I like that there's this one really
Oh, yeah,
horrific
very,
looking. He says, "No, leave this one alone. I like this one."
Yeah, I don't know the artist. I am familiar with it, but it's like an abattoir kind of painting. There's like
Yeah,
sides of beef and some terrified looking face
yeah,
person sitting in the middle. And he goes, "Yeah, no, leave this alone. I kind of
yeah,
like this one. It speaks to me."
yeah.
Of
Right.
course, because it's horrifying.
There. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, he sits down with her and she doesn't know who he is. And he's just like, "Oh, let me introduce myself. And I'm an artist. And, he goes, "Is this your portfolio?" And I do like, he looks through all of her fashion stuff. Is like, crap,
Yeah.
useless, awful.
Right.
And then he gets to all the dead bodies, the war pictures. And he's like, "Now this, I like this." He's like, "Ooh, you have a good eye." Basically he's hitting on her and she's still just like, "You killed everybody. I don't know what you're all about." He introduces Jerry Hall. She still has the mask on and he's
Mhm.
like, "She's a work in progress. Show him." And she takes off her mask and clearly he's been burning her or, fucking with her face, which is horrifying. And so Vicky Vale's like, "Ah," and he's like, "Well, I'm not." He's like, "I'm not a professional yet." He's like,
Yeah.
"It's a work in progress." He
Yeah.
takes it as like, "Oh no, how dare you judge me?" So anyway, that's all very cute. And then he also does the flamethrower, lighting the candles. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
great. He's got the acid flower. And what is she? All she does is
She
like,
throws water on him.
yeah, she throws water on him, and then he starts doing the, "Oh, I'm melting,"
Yeah.
like the Wicked Witch. "Oh, what a world!" And then he turns around, and the flesh tone makeup is
Mhm.
off, and you see the streaks of the white underneath. He goes, "Ha ha!" Laughs at her, and she shrieks. Batman comes in,
Yeah.
basically just grabs her, then does his little thing, and zip lines out of there with her. And that's where Joker goes, "Where does he get those wonderful toys?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's the big chase scene out. Okay, I've got a big problem with one of these things.
So this is really, we haven't really seen Batman again until it's like an hour into the movie we finally get to see Batman again.
And it's the first time we see the Batmobile.
Yeah, and he looks great running out. This shot of him running out
Yes.
of the Flugelheim.
I do love where he goes, "Get in the car," and she goes, "Which one?" That's like a
Yeah.
perfect thing because it's clearly the one with the black bat wings on it.
Yeah.
You can tell it's a contained, like they built a block of Gotham in a soundstage. You can tell it's kind of contained. Like, in other words, you're seeing a lot of the same buildings and they're kind of redressing them, but there's really only a street and a corner that exists.
Yeah.
My thing is, they meant for this to look cool, but I can only think about death. And that is, in order for this rocket powered, big, chunky tank like Batmobile to do a sharp turn, he does this thing where he fires a grapple into not even a building. It's like a strut for an overhead train track. And he and it allows it just pulls it by centrifugal force in a perfect thing, and it lets go and he's able to keep going. And all I can think is, what if someone was standing there?
Mm-hmm.
They would get halved. They would just get sliced in half by, maybe work on a Batmobile that doesn't require lines, like steel cables that will possibly scythe through people standing on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a weird little note, but it has bugged me since day one of this movie. I'm going like, I know you think that's cool, but I just keep thinking about a body count.
Yeah. Well,
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The Joker's men, they've got green and purple sedans. They've got Joker mobiles. I kind of love that.
Yeah, that is really cool.
They go after him. He, I'm not sure why he stops. I think it's just so they can show stuff.
The street's blocked.
Street's blocked. So he jumps out of the Batmobile with her. He does the shield. And it shields
there's like
up.
This tractor comes out and
right. Yes.
blocks the road.
And then he does the I'm escaping in a dead end alleyway, but I will use my bat hook. And he goes, "How much do you weigh?" And she's like, "Oh, 108." And he zips her up there. He goes, "Hold on to this and don't let go." He drops back down to fight. And he does some fighting. He does some stiff fighting, but it still looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
He does do something he used to do in the comics all the time, which is I'm not even looking behind me, and does the fist back to hit the dude coming up. Awesome.
Yeah.
He gets knocked down. They start taking his mask off. That's pretty
That's
cool.
when he wakes up.
And Vicky Vale, she is a photojournalist first because, she's not shouting a warning or anything. She's like going, I'm getting some good shots.
Yeah, right.
She's also not hiding. She's kind of just like up on the roof going, oh, cool.
Before this, one thing I like is that, they have to leave the car because the street is blocked, and he leaves it with the cabin still open. And I was watching this going, God, he's just running away with the thing open. And then, of course, you get the scene where he pulls out his remote and says, shields.
Yeah, he doesn't do it immediately.
Right. It takes a while. But there was one, I think Burton missed out. This didn't really, it would have added a nice touch, because if he had said that and the Gothamites were, the rats, the criminals or people it didn't even have to be criminals, just people being curious about the car, like walking up to it and starting to look into it right as he activates that. It would have been cool if people had to jump back. It's like, oh no, let's get away. But he didn't do that.
Look at you trying to remake this movie years later.
Also, I want to say too that the Batmobile does remind me very much of it's either a Matchbox or a Hot Wheels car, which I still have. It's over here. It has this one of them I have that has this huge engine right in the middle. It's this big.
Yes, it's so weird. I know exactly the one you're talking about. Yeah,
I think I have to pull that now. I'm very curious.
All right, edit this part out. No one likes this. Man, I don't have any Matchbox from the olden days.
Yes, here it is. This thing.
Yes, that's exactly the one I was thinking of. Yeah, the huge engine in the front and that scooped out. What year is that from, by the way?
It has to be late 70s or early 80s. Does it have the year on the bottom? Do they do that?
Yeah, they do.
I can't read it.
That's okay. I would just be interested if that was possibly even a design like thing they kind of borrowed.
Because it does look a lot like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, that rocket nose cone kind of thing, and then the two side prongs. Yeah, there are elements there. Could totally be the Batmobile. They stole from Hot Wheels. Mattel is very mad.
I do also have this Batmobile.
Yes.
The Corgi Batmobile.
I have a recent one. Hot Wheels did a bunch of DC character cars, including Superman. I mean, I know how stupid that is. Green Lantern. Like, why does Green Lantern have a car? But they did they did a Batmobile and a Joker mobile as well. I've got those up there. We had toys. By the way, I know I've shown him before, but first appearance Batman is always close by.
Oh, first appearance
as in Detective 27. So that's why he's got the little purple gloves.
Okay.
And no circle, and the big pointy devil ears. They did a design that looked like he showed up in the very first issue of Detective 27. So they also did a first appearance Superman that looks like the Joe Shuster.
Okay.
Anyway, so he kicks their asses, and because he pops back up and is like, fuck you couch. Then he gets back with Vicky. He calls I do love that he can just remote, and the Batmobile wakes up, unshields, and runs to him.
And people are surrounding it at this point when it takes off. They're like, ah.
Also, when he rescues Vicky Vale, not rescues, she's up on the building, but when he gets her, he's like, I think you weigh a little bit more than
you lied about your weight.
and she's like going, oh, you dick.
Well, then we have this great them going back to the Bat Cave, and he's not saying anything to her, and she's like, what's going on? You've abducted me.
It is so...
And it's very much like the series where the Batmobile is going back to the Bat Cave.
I just love that Burton understood that, okay, we just revealed the Batmobile. It needs a showcase. Mm-hmm. And this isn't it doing anything other than it's going through these, country lanes, because he's outside the city going to Wayne Manor. So it's all these autumn leaves being kicked around, and it looks fucking awesome. It's sped up a little because the Batmobile, that model, in real life does not go very fast. They had that on the lot. They shot. Do you remember the OnStar commercials that they did in the early 90s that had Batman in them?
No.
It was a stunt guy basically. So it was not one of the stars
looking like this version of Batman.
or actually closer probably to the Val Kilmer. But in the classic, this Batmobile, and they had Curtis Armstrong. You know Curtis Armstrong from Revenge of the Nerds, and
Oh, the curly-haired
Moonlighting.
dude?
Booger.
Yes.
Also, Better Off Dead.
Right.
He was the Joker in these OnStar
Oh.
commercials. And they rebuilt. This is while I was working there, and I just stayed after work to watch them turn the New York street of the backlot into Gotham for the OnStar commercials. And Curtis Armstrong's in Joker makeup, and he's driving his own Joker mobile, and the whole thing is that Batman's chasing him. So I watched the Batmobile, this one, just roll, and I'm like, oh yeah, it can't go that fast.
Yeah.
But seeing like the flame shoot out the back, because right next to the driver is literally just this tank.
Yeah.
There's no, Vicky would not have had a seat. The tank is where all the stuff goes out the back. They had multiples, but anyway, it was cool to see in action.
That's a callback to Adam West's Batmobile as well as the
yes. Yeah, of
fire
course.
thing.
I mean, they always want to make it like it's not your normal car. It's got this unbelievable, engine. Yeah, right out the back there. Yeah. But anyway, this scene is very cool because Elfman also writes us a piece that is just for the Batmobile, and it has sort of this Carmina Burana kind of like dun 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 dun. It's just sort of this big orchestral thing. It works, and yes, she's just looking at him. And the thing I like about it is it's similar to in the comics, Silver St. Cloud is another Batman girlfriend in the 70s. She's the one who famously figured out that Bruce Wayne was Batman because she kept studying this part of his face. And that was actually pretty clever in the comics, where she goes, oh, you're Batman just because your chin, the mouth, the whole thing. I know your mouth, Bruce, you're Batman. She figures it out just that way. But this is kind of that, because she just keeps looking at him, and he just keeps side-eyeing, like, I know she's studying. So then he hits that little switch, so she gets this spotlight right in her eyes. That's pretty great. He just does this like flip, and she's like, I'm like, that's a real small touch, but I love the fact that that's how he's keeping her from studying him. Yeah. Then he's in the Batcave, and then she's like, oh shit. He's like, watch your step.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow, there's seriously bats all around this place. And he goes, they're excellent survivors or something. And I'm like, that's a bit much.
And she's still trying to get a good look at him as he's sitting at his console. He's like,
he sits at the console, and basically he's using her. He's basically saying like, look, you're in the press. I have figured out the combinations of products that will cause people to die from Smilex. So get this in the paper, make sure they don't use these products. And she's like, great. So now I guess I'm going home. And does he knock her out?
Yeah, she wakes up. I guess he drugs her or something.
I'm not exactly sure how
she wakes
up in her apartment, and then she checks her boobs.
How did I get here?
She realized he stole one of her boobs. No, we had seen her take her roll of film that she'd been shooting during all the action. She put it in her bra. And so she wakes up convinced that she's got like a big scoop, but he's too damn cool and Batman-y. He got the film. She's like, oh, the film. And I only have one boob. Yeah. And meanwhile, Batman in the Batcave has this like cool display where he just has one boob, just like right there. Because we know he keeps souvenirs from a lot of his anyway.
Sorry, I'm looking at his actual Bat console thing, and I was reminded too, seeing this scene, because I hadn't watched the movie in ages.
Yeah.
But of course I had seen The Flash, which we were also reviewed when that came out a couple of years ago. And they really did a fantastic job. I don't know how close it is accurate, but it is very similar.
But the whole multi-layer sort of jutting parts out into the Batcave, it's much more cavernous than like in the comics. I guess the comics now kind of copy that, because he's got a bat plane and a bat boat in there and all kinds of stuff. So it's got to be pretty damn big. Yeah, it looks great. I have no complaints, except for, I will say, I think the comics finally had addressed it where there's netting above, or maybe it was the Nolan films. He is in a cave that has lots of bats, but he has netting above because bats are going to shit on everything. Bat guano.
Yeah, it would smell terrible in there.
It would smell terrible, and it'd be dripping off of every one of his consoles. So I know he loves his bats, but yeah, maybe have some netting up above there to catch the shit.
Yeah.
Master Bruce, if I am called upon to wipe guano from your bat computer one more time, I'm quitting. Anyway.
So yeah, then the paper comes out. Batman cracks Joker's poison code. Citizens told to avoid the following products. And this pisses Joker off. He shoots the TV.
But also I do love the fact that Batman is now fully like, he's like, I'm here. I'm an actual guy, and now I'm working with you because this is too important for me to be all shadowy. So, you know, he's now being referred to as Batman in the newspapers. He's no longer like mysterious Bat. I would have liked one scene of him talking to Commissioner Gordon. I mean, he never does. One scene of him just like going, we're on the same side. Yeah, that kind of thing.
So I know we don't get the bat signal until the very last.
No, but that is nice.
But yeah, it would have been nice if Gordon didn't really have to have a bigger part, at least have him be a little bit more of a character who is, I don't know. Yeah, I
agree.
That is one thing that's missing from this movie.
Yeah.
And what is it true? I mean, because I know you got to see him a lot more in the Adam West series, but was this thing of like, because that's one of the great things about Batman Begins and the Dark Knight trilogy is the relationship between Gordon and Batman is pretty cool. It's portrayed pretty well in that, and then also in the Batman, obviously, it's even better in that one. Is that something their relationship, was that something that became in the comics? Was it more of a trope after this film, or had it been a trope before this?
He's literally in Detective 27, and in that, Commissioner Gordon is an older dude. He's a friend of Bruce's. And they're literally sitting in like they're both smoking pipes. They're in Wayne Manor talking about this case. And it basically, the whole thing ends with Bruce Wayne going like, this Batman fellow seems like a real kind of, be careful there. And the commissioner's like going, I think he's a okay guy, basically. So that was established. But the relationship in the TV show was very much the way it was in the comics of the time, the Silver Age comics. They were chummy, and Gordon's an older dude. But at that time, they had gone so campy in the comics and the TV show that literally Batman's he's deputized. He is a member of the Gotham police force, as is Robin. And it is a thing where Commissioner Gordon's just like, oh, we are totally helpless without you. It's basically, he's not bumbling, but it is sort of, the cops they're useless. And it's like, thank God Batman showed up to do anything, to take care of anything. I can't. Yeah. And he almost never leaves the office. Commissioner Gordon's kind of a portly older dude. It was in the 70s, finally, when they made Batman kind of grim again. Not grim, but he's more mysterious, where they course corrected from all the campy stuff, and he gets the long ears back, and Neil Adams is drawing him. Denny O'Neil is writing it. And at that point, Batman is more the detective, and he's just drawn amazingly because Neil Adams is unbelievable. And Jim Apato's doing the same thing. So at that point, Batman has become a badass again, is serious. Robin's off at college, so he's not really in the adventures much. Ra's al Ghul's introduced. But also Jim Gordon, he's still an older dude, but they like made him kind of like Gary Oldman was in the Nolan movies, where he's not too much older. He's got the mustache, he still smokes a pipe, but he's out there on the streets, and he's got like a trench coat, and he's actually showing up a lot more, and the cops are actually doing something, and that's great. So at that point, they're more partners, which I really did like. Yeah. It was a great switch, and it's been that way pretty much since.
Right.
They've stuck with that, and the movies have kind of reflected that. This is more of a throwback. You know, it's almost like Tim Burton was like, I kind of still want to stick with, you know, Gordon's just in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's a shame, because I do love when they are like, I shouldn't be partnered up with you because you're a vigilante. However, you're the best man I know. You're the smartest guy in the room. I need your help with these crazy criminals. And Batman's like, you're the only good cop. You're the guy I trust. We're friends. Love that stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
go straight to the heart. And again, Jeffrey Wright and Pattinson, my favorite parts of the Batman were them like discovering clues and working together, and that thing in the police station where he just goes, "You're gonna have to hit me and make it look convincing." He's like,
Yeah.
"The key is in my pocket."
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. What's going on? Where are we in the movie?
So
It's almost done.
It comes out in the news that Batman has foiled his makeup plan, and so he shoots the TV. Then we're back in the Batcave.
Is this where Alfred goes, I thought you would like to hang out with your girlfriend. Here she is. Your secret is blown. Gotta go.
Yeah.
Those are the actual lines of dialogue.
Alfred comes and says something to him. He's reading the paper and brings him some tea.
Is this he's like, I have precious few years left and I don't want to spend them mourning my old friends or their sons.
Go talk to this woman, basically, I think is what he says. So then Bruce Wayne goes to Vicky's apartment.
Oh, right. Oh, this is that scene.
Or it's a flower.
I don't like this scene. I don't like
really?
this scene. It's the
Let's Get Nuts. You don't like the
Let's Get Nuts. I hate it. I hate it so bad.
Why? Tell us, Mr. Jones. Why?
It's not really about that's a big tip of he's probably Batman kind of thing. It's not really about the secret identity. It just doesn't feel like the smart way to have handled it, Mr. Wayne. I guess he's stuck. It's like the only other thing he could do is just passively hide in the back, and that's not good. This is not a world where he can do a fast change into Batman. The comics, of course, are hilarious, where it's like, I was reading that Captain America thing. I was reading a Captain America from the 80s, and they say he's able to change in 10 seconds. And I'm like, bullshit. I'm sorry, he's got those big boots. I'm like, that alone is 10 seconds. Don't even bother with that. But anyway, so, yeah, I just, Joker comes there to, again, flirt or essentially tell Vicky Vale, you're mine. And Bruce Wayne is there. And this is very much like Superman the movie. He's ready to tell her. Like he does do the whole thing of like, and he's this whole hemming and hawing about, people have two sides of their personality, and he's doing all that. And then she's like, sorry, I'm distracted. I have to go answer the door. And she walks away while he goes, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
And it's just like Clark going, Lois, I have something to tell you.
Yeah.
Exact same beat.
Yeah.
But Joker shows up, Bruce hides. Joker is basically like, hey, my other blonde, she committed suicide. Oops. So you're definitely going to be my gal. And then, yes, he sees Bruce Wayne, who has taken a precaution. We did see him clear off one of her makeup trays, which is a silver or metal thing. And we'll find out why he did that. But anyway, he gets great lines, the Joker does here, where he's just like going, ooh, another rooster in the hen house.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing, I'm of a mind to make some mookie. By the way, when he's doing the clip out scene where he's doing the collage of all the pictures, and he goes, Jesus Marimba, that's where I got it from. I've forgotten. I've said Jesus Marimba for years and years, and I thought I was like, did I make that up? And then I'm watching this, I'm going, oh my God, I got it from Jack Nicholson. Jesus Marimba. So anyway,
that's awesome.
But here the whole thing about never rub another man's rhubarb after he shoots and supposedly kills Bruce Wayne. But yeah, Bruce Wayne comes out to basically say, hey, he decides not to play it like, please don't hurt us. I'm Bruce Wayne, millionaire. Instead, he's like challenging him. He grabs fireplace poker and he's like going, I know who you are. He gets into this and he's like, I know who you are. And Jack Nicholson's playing it great. The Joker's like going, oh, really? It's all these like facial expressions like, oh, do tell. And he goes, I knew a guy named Jack. See, he's a smart guy, but his wires are crossed. Basically, he's taunting him like, yeah, the thing is, Jack was smart, but he was also crazy. It screwed him up. And the Joker's like, I like this guy already. But basically, it's all leading up to him doing the big explosion, like smashing the thing, going, you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. And then the Joker just pulls out a gun and shoots him. And I'm kind of like, okay, I don't know if this was the best strategy. But wait, what happens to Vicky?
He leaves her there.
He does.
It's like
He
he's going
leaves
to
her
take
there.
her, and then he changes his mind.
And
leaves.
she sees that Bruce is gone. But he left behind the serving tray, which he put in his under his shirt. So it's got a bullet in it. And she's like, wow, that's crazy. Bruce Wayne, that was weird. I'm not a fan of that scene. I also just think you want to get nuts, let's get nuts thing. I'm just like, ugh.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like one of the most iconic moments.
I know, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I will say,
come on. You want to get nuts?
This scene, he looks I think the best that he does almost in the whole movie. The costume and everything, the way his the Joker
in this?
Yeah. Because he goes through different lip makeup. It's like the only makeup he's wearing is Joker. He puts lipstick a little bit on with
the clown. Yeah. When he's doing the mime thing.
When the mimes are there. Yeah. He's got a little teeny
he's
thing.
He's also got the flesh tony. Yeah.
Here he looks very classic Joker.
He does. And his green hair is popping in this scene.
Yeah. It looks great. The suit looks great.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the purple and green slacks.
Again, you take you take about 25 pounds and about 20 years off of that man.
Yeah.
He was the Joker. He was perfect.
Yes.
But they didn't do that here. Oh, right. When he leaves here, he does the big fart sound.
Oh, yeah. And
when he leaves her apartment, he does a... that. He leaves the package for her. She opens it up, and it has the spring-activated mannequin hand holding dead flowers, and she faints.
Yeah.
Man, she's easy. She's an easy one.
So then we get to the microfiche scene.
I'm surprised that Knox doesn't know. I mean, he's a Gotham local. And I got to imagine that the killing of two very prominent Gotham citizens 20 years ago, or however long it was, people would remember. I don't think it's like, wow, we really dug something up. The Waynes were killed. Of course you'd know that if you were local.
Yeah, it's the Waynes, yeah.
It's the Waynes, and they were killed by criminals.
Yeah.
He's the poor little lost billionaire boy. But it's still effective, and she's like, oh, man, how do you... And Knox does kind of, for once, not crack a joke. He's like, how do you come back from that?
That's terrible, yeah. We were back at the cave.
Yeah.
Alfred is putting his suit away in the safe.
Yeah, that's the thing where he goes, I don't want to spend my few remaining years mourning old friends or their sons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. It's a good line.
So then we're back. Oh, this is when the Joker interrupts the mayor's speech on TV.
Oh, yes.
And there's this weird thing where he looks over and he can...
Yeah, he's doing like a fireplace chat kind of thing. Yes. Again, in the flesh tone makeup. And he's wearing gloves. I do love the way they're acknowledging he's just trying to cover that he is fully white-skinned and all that thing. But he's sitting there in a chair and he's listening to the mayor going, sadly, we're not going to have it. And he just goes, what? Yeah, the whole reaction. I love where he's like going.
Very cartoonish, like, yeah.
And then he shoves it, goes, well, here's the thing, guys. Gotham deserves to have its celebration. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to dump $20 million on the crowd at midnight. And there's going to be balloons. It's going to be a lot of fun. And he goes, and the highlight is going to be a match between me and the Batman. Mano y mano. And I love the way he goes, it's a great line where he goes, I've taken off my makeup, which is hilariously wrong. He put makeup on. He goes, I've taken off my makeup. He goes, are you brave enough to take off yours, Batman? And Batman's just looking at him going, oh, we did skip this. It was in Vicky's apartment right before he shoots him that he goes, hey, you ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight? And Bruce is totally blown by that. He goes, what'd you say? And then boom. So next time Bruce he watches all the stuff, but he's also looking at Jack Napier's files, I think, in this thing.
Yeah, so he's figured it out.
And he has the flashback. We finally get I don't mind origin sequences. It's just that every movie feels the need to redo them. But we get the classic, we're leaving the movie theater, and it's very 1940s-ish style. And they're in the alleyway. And yes, one criminal grabs her pearl necklace. So we get the famous, the pearls are dropping, and then the popcorn is falling after she gets shot and the dad gets shot. And then a very good, like this guy, I mean,
I don't know who this guy was, but yeah.
don't know if he's any good of an actor, but I was like going, that's a great Joker face. That could be
Yeah.
possibly young Jack Nicholson. But
Yeah.
he is like going, hey, kid, you ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight? And so now, oh my God, now Bruce Wayne knows my parents' killer is the Joker.
Yeah. And with this is too, this shot in this scene of Bruce realizing this, and he's sitting in the Batcave, and it very, very, he's lit really well. This is a very iconic shot of Michael Keaton that we've seen a million times. He just looks fantastic.
I'll tell you, my very favorite Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne shot is in the next movie, because Bruce Wayne, other than the scenes with Selena Kyle, he doesn't get a lot to do in the second movie. It really is about Penguin, Catwoman, and Batman.
Right.
But that one shot where the bat signal hits, and it's just like you just see Bruce Wayne sitting there like he's almost in off mode because he's like, but then the signal hits and it's like he's been called and he just stands up and looks out the window. I'm like, chills. I'm going to do that for a few more minutes. Chills.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, here is where Vicky Vale has been invited to the Batcave, and a lot of people hate this scene.
Alfred's had enough. He's like,
that's exactly it.
Here he is. He's Batman. Now you do work it out. I've had enough of your shit, Bruce.
And this gets all relationshipy where he's like, it's complicated. And she goes, are we going to try to love each other? Which is something I've been asking Chad since I think 1994. Are we going to try to love each other, Chad? All right, you get back to me on that. Anyway,
all right.
So, this is the whole I am Batman. It's complicated. I can't give up my fight, especially now. I'm the only guy who can face off against the Joker.
Then we get the chemical plant where he sends the Batmobile into the chemical plant and kills a bunch of everybody.
And actually, I'm not exactly sure why he did that. I mean, that would be where they were packaging all the Smilex stuff. I could see him wanting to get rid of that stuff. But I also say the Joker has a lot of guys because these guys all get wiped out. He wiped out a whole bunch of them fighting them in the earlier part. How many people does Joker have? A lot.
Yeah. It is one of the things that's weird about that. I mean, obviously he inherits, he takes over Grissom's whole operation, obviously. So,
but apparently he also has like a manufacturing thing where a lot of cool satin bomber jackets are being made. I kind of do want one of those Joker henchman satin bomber jackets that have like the Joker emblem on it, because they all have them, and they all like are wearing like street hats, but they're wearing Joker coats.
Yeah,
I like them.
Yeah, so Batman blows up the chemical plant,
blows up a bunch of people.
The helicopter shows up with a Joker in it. It says,
"Yes."
What does he say here? Because
he
says
goes
you
off to the parade.
Yet. Oh, and then this great. There is on the side of his helicopter. Mm-hmm. Again, you've got a classic.
Yeah, you got the Joker head.
Yeah, from like the comics of
that's the badge they have on their cool satin bomb.
Is it the same dot? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that he immediately said, well, if I'm going to look like this, I want someone to do a cartoon representation of my face, and all my guys are going to wear this.
Yeah.
I love that the Joker's not only putting a plan together, he's also merchandising. He's thinking about purple and green. These are my colors. Make sure you guys are all dressed in that. Get your cars painted. Purple and green. I'm now the Joker.
And this is, one of the things that this film just nails.
Oh, yeah.
And this makes me, side note, there's been a lot of, and maybe by the time this episode comes out, this will have been debunked definitively.
There isn't a Batman. Is that what you're saying?
There's a very popular rumor going around like, James Gunn is reconsidering putting Battinson into the DCU, which of course he's not going to do, because they asked him in an interview. It was Josh Horowitz asked him in interviews, like, have you reconsidered doing that? He says, of course I've considered it, but no, I'm committed to telling DCU stories and Elseworlds stories. So no, it's not going to happen. This is one of the main reasons why I don't want him to do that. I want the Joker to look like the fucking Joker. Don't make him look like, whatever that.
No, that's what I'm saying. I want them to, it goes back into the don't be afraid to. Yes. Tim Burton clearly wasn't. He's doing a stylized world where someone is going to fall into a vat of acid and end up with bleached skin and green hair, and his mouth frozen in a grin.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And the people, like I said before, that keep trying to, and that means Nolan, and that means, I guess I'm going to throw in our friend Matt Reeves too, because we've only seen a glimpse, but we know he's doing the same thing. He wants it to look like horrible scarring, and the makeup is something that's a psychological choice to freak people out that he applies himself every day. Heath Ledger was such a good Joker, and it was such a, and I still really like the movie, but the idea that, just like with Jared Leto's Joker, where in order to sell how crazy he is, he actually tattoos ha 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 and crazy on himself. The thing I love about the Joker in the comics is there's no artifice. In other words, he's insane. He's wearing green and purple probably because he likes those colors, but I don't think he's like going, what will have massive psychological impact? He loses his mind and looks like that. And he's not sitting there going, I bet I'd look even scarier if I did this. The thing about, Heath Ledger's Joker is he's doing this for affect. And so it's all about, you want to know how I got these scars? And he has all these different stories about that and which one's true. Well, that's clever, but I would rather it just be a criminal guy who's criminally insane, who had this accident and was horribly transformed. I just don't want all that overthinking of it.
Yes.
I mean, the Penguin, they overthought him into, a great series, but I sit there going like, yeah, why can't he just be a chunky kid who was made fun of when he was little and was forced to carry an umbrella around?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need it's like Lex Luthor. He doesn't like Superman because Superman shows him up.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need. You don't like that guy.
Yeah.
It affects his ego. We don't need complicated, weird. Just dive into comics. Just let it be the comic.
Yes, and we've come full circle on this because in our very first episodes before this was because we started this show. We started Prodigious Saps like about 2 months before the James Gunn news broke, and we had one of our early episodes. We were debating whether or not
the year was 2006
should be spun in. Whether the Batman should be spun into a new DCU, because at that point we knew the DCU was on its way out. We didn't know who, and we didn't know
if like Aquaman was going to be the thing that carried forward, or maybe Black Adam or whatever. All that.
We're thinking here's something really good in DC. Like let's build off of that, because we had no idea that James Gunn was coming, and now it's like no, don't. Because I was arguing. Oh, of course, people were saying, oh, it's not going to work with a tone if you put Superman into the Batman's universe. And I was thinking, it could work if you just do it the right way. But now that we know where James Gunn is going, it's like, no.
I think he's doing the right thing, which is what Reeves is doing is awesome. Let him continue. But people can handle different versions of a character.
Mm-hmm.
It is the sad thing, like we were talking about before, with Superman and Lois getting canceled only because Warner Brothers thought that people wouldn't be able to handle David Cornsweet being Superman and Taylor Hoechlin, or how you pronounce his last name. And you sit there going, that's unfair because we could have multiples. We're going to have that My Adventures with Superman cartoon still going on multiple seasons, and people love that. It's not going to be the same as David Cornsweet. We're going to get multiple Supermen. We can handle multiple Batmen.
Yeah.
We've done it.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say I've survived multiple Batmen. Multiple Batmen. All right.
Oh, anyway, we get to the big parade.
Big parade. There's a new Parents song, by the way. This one's Trust.
Yeah.
And it does allow the Joker to go, who do you trust? Hubba, hubba, hubba. Who do you trust?
And he's throwing money at everybody.
Yep.
And everybody's losing their mind.
Yep. This unfortunately does look like, again, you've got one block of a Gotham City set. It's
that's the one set that they,
because it does make it like, all right, I know that people are excited that $20 million are coming out, but it's literally just 2 floats.
Yeah. And this is one scene we get the Batwing shows up.
Yep.
This is this one thing I didn't like so much.
I think the end kind of is not so well constructed. Yeah.
Yeah, because he comes in, the Batwing, he uses a Batwing to get rid of the balloons, which is cool.
He sees, as does Vicky, on the ground. And I do like this. Knox also becomes a hero briefly here, because Knox realizes that gas is being released from the balloons. It's going to kill everybody. So he grabs a bat and he starts hitting the guys who are holding the balloons down, all the Joker's men. So he's trying to get them to let go of the balloons so they'll go up. I'm like, good on you, Knox. And Vicky Vale's also screaming, everybody get inside, stay away from the balloons. But Batman zooms down on the Batwing, and it is a pretty cool, I mean, obviously the money shot is the Batwing going up in preparation to make its dive and then pausing right against the full moon.
Yeah.
I still remember that the way you knew which soundtrack to buy is one had the yellow circle bat emblem. And I was like, no, that's the Prince album. But the one that had the Batwing in front of the moon was the Danny Elfman score. That was the one I was like, buy that one. But anyway, it hangs there. It drops down. He zooms. He uses these pinchers at the front of the Batwing to grab the guy lines for the balloons. And then he pulls them out of the way up towards the place. And then he snaps them so they'll float away before they kill everybody.
So it's right after that the moon shot, after he lets the balloons go. He doesn't. And I want to say too that when I saw it for the first time and I was sitting next to my date, she hated this movie, by the way.
Oh, well.
That scene, that shot where the Batwing goes up into the moon, she was like, oh, come on. She just had enough of the stylized stuff at that point.
She needs to not be.
Well, it didn't work. It didn't work out, folks.
Okay. What I do like, Jack Nicholson does a great couple of line readings as the Joker, where he just goes, he took my balloons.
He took my balloons, yeah.
And it's not like I'm a raging supervillain. He's literally like a kid going, those are my balloons. Yes. I just love the way he chose to do that. But anyway, Batman comes back down and he's going to strafe the Joker. He's like fed up. He's full on pulling out rockets and machine guns. And the Joker pulls out a comically long pistol out of his pants, if you know what I mean.
I don't like this shot.
No, I don't like this either, simply because the idea that, okay, I like that he has this comically big gun. That's very Joker.
Sure.
But the idea that one shot takes down the Batwing.
It's very anticlimactic after this. Like, he gets taken out that easily. Come on.
I've read that all the drafts towards the end, they were just like, originally Vicky wasn't going to be in the church. It was just going to be Batman and Joker. Then they're like, okay, Vicky ends up in there somehow. And then they're like, oh, he still needs to fight some goons. I think the ending really is they just hodgepodged and they're like, fine, there. Because the Batwing crashes. And it crashes right up against the steps of Gotham Cathedral, which is taller than a skyscraper. It's just unbelievably tall, Gothic cathedral. And then we have a very, it's essentially Vertigo. This is kind of the end of Vertigo, because it is this, Joker grabs Vicky and decides to walk all the way up the stairs into the belfry, the very top of the cathedral. They do show, this is at least good writing, is that he does pull out his radio and he goes, meet me at the top of the cathedral in 5 minutes. And he looks up at it, it's really tall. He goes, yeah, make that 10. So in other words, it's not like he's like going, let's climb up for no good reason. He's going to get picked up by his helicopter. That's the whole thing. So grabs her and then he goes up the stairs. And then it's kind of a long, not so very interesting thing of Batman, who's very wounded after having crashed the Batwing. He stumbles. But he starts going up the stairs. And now it's really like, oh, she drops a shoe down the stairs. Batman catches it. No. It's all these like, okay, all right.
And there's a lot of these awkward shots of him looking up, like,
yes,
just leaning
and
back,
winding his way up, and Joker dropping things occasionally down toward him, including he uses it's a pretty good shot though. Uses the acid flower to eat through the bell. And the bell itself drops, knocks out some of the staircases. Also, Commissioner Gordon and his men. Commissioner Gordon also, again, still dressed up. That guy's always dressed up but he's just not like in normal clothes ever. He's sort of in formal wear.
Yeah.
He's coming in. He's like, I want you men get up there. You men get up there. And then the bell comes out. He's like, nope, just stay down here. Stay down here.
Yeah. I love, he actually tries to push the bell out of the way. He's like, It's like, really? You thought that was going to work?
I'm old and fat.
Never mind.
So Batman and the Joker fight. Vicky Vale tries to go limp, and then she kind of tries to flirt with him a little bit, all just to give Batman time to get up behind him, and they punch, and there's some good stuff. This is where he says, "You killed my parents." And Joker's like, "What?" And he goes, "You killed my parents." And then I guess Joker figures out who he's talking about, because he goes, "I was a youngster when I killed your parents." And he goes, "And I know what this is. You made me, so now you got to say that I made you." And then he pulls out glasses and goes, "You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses."
Yeah. I do like that Joker kind of gets a little thrown here. So the only time you see him going, he's kind of getting thrown off his center a little bit after that.
Especially, that there's a personal connection instead of it just being the weird guy in the bat suit.
He's like, "Oh shit, this guy might actually kill me."
Yeah. So they punch it up. He knocks him. It's a pretty good stunt. Whoever does, I do love him punching the Joker, and the Joker does this full flip off the balcony thing. I was like, that looked like a comic panel. The fact that he gets knocked into a body flip is really good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's hanging.
Well, before this, there's this fight with one of his henchmen.
Yeah.
That another guy that gets offed.
There are a couple of guys in the Joker's group that show up like we're martial arts badasses.
Yeah.
And both of them get handled kind of like the swordsman and raiders.
Yeah.
Where it's like someone goes, "I'm doing all this crazy shit. I'm doing all this crazy shit." And Batman just goes, boom. Just puts out a hand and knocks him back.
Well, Batman, with this guy, he does the grabs him, swings up with his legs, grabs him around the neck, and throws him down.
That's right. That's right.
So one of the many casualties in this film.
People die in this movie. People
die. They do.
Unfortunately, one of the big problems is who dies at the end.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I guess we might as well jump ahead to that, right?
Yeah. So they've knocked Joker off, but he's not off the building. He's hanging on. So is Vicky. It's a whole thing of like, he pulls up Vicky, and then I do like the callback, because the Joker is hanging and Batman is trying to pull him up, just like he did in Axis Chemicals. However, Batman had tied him via bat line to one of the gargoyles on the building. So that's weighing him down. It's dangling off his ankle. Then the helicopter shows up, and Joker's like, "Well, I gotta go." Ha ha ha. The problem is he still has the stone gargoyle, so he can't pull himself up the helicopter rungs, the ladder, and then he falls and becomes a cartoon.
Yeah. Very weird.
Gotham City is a city where if you fall a great height, you will become two-dimensional cell painting.
Yeah. I'm looking at this because I was wondering if was it animated, or did they like put his actual face in there in post?
No, I don't think that was the day you could do that. I think they just painted.
Not with CGI, obviously, but
right.
Where is
I think they just painted.
Brandon's like, "Don't look at the shot.
I want you to look at the shot. I want you to not even edit this out. I want this to go on for about 20 minutes of you staring at the shot."
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It doesn't look like a painting. It looks like it might be. What it looks like is they took a still shot of him and like pasted onto this image of the guy falling. But yeah, it's weird.
It looks
very strange.
It's hyper perspective. I think that's why they had to do that instead of just have a stunt guy falling out of frame, because it's already a matte painting of an unrealistically, ridiculously tall cathedral.
Because it's a very dark shot too, and I guess they wanted his face to stick out, so it looks like they redid some stuff after they actually shot. But it looks like the whole thing might be animated too. You're right.
I think
especially as he falls further down out of shot, it looks very animated. Yeah. Okay.
And then it cuts to ground level, and we're hearing
yeah.
And Commissioner Gordon leans over the body of the Joker and pulls out a laugh box out of his coat pocket. And they killed the Joker. Here's the thing. And they do it in the next one too. It's almost like they were like going, one and done. The whole thing of having these great villains show up and then die at the end. I'm like, that's the stupidest thing. My friend Richard wrote a sequel. Before Batman Returns came out, he was so excited about Batman that He was an aspiring screenwriter, so he came up with his own sequel, and he wrote a script. And in his, at my suggestion, I was like, open with the end of the previous movie, but it turns out to be a Joker robot. And I know, of course, that's a huge stretch, that they didn't introduce any robots whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I would love it if the joke box turns out to not have any batteries in it, and then they realize the laughter is coming from the body, and the body is a robot. Yeah, I know. But it was just so I could sit there going like, fuck you, movie. You don't kill off the Joker. You just don't.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. And they'll do the same thing with the Penguin.
So they didn't do that. I guess they didn't figure out a way to do that in Batman 89, the comic. They haven't brought the Joker back in the comics.
No, he's not the bad guy. It is Two-Face. It goes on to being Billy D. Williams' Two-Face. And then Echoes, which is the next one, the second miniseries, it's Scarecrow. So yeah, they kind of just like going, yeah, no, that's what happened. Joker died. Sorry, everybody. But and then we do have Vicky Vale. Alfred picks her up in the limo. He's like, Master Bruce said he would join you later. And she goes, oh, I know. He's got work to do or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah,
and then the
because we see
camera
the bat
pans up.
signal right before this, yeah.
And then, yes, you get the whole, and it's not even Commissioner Gordon. Again, it's Harvey Dent reads it out. Commissioner Gordon is there and he says something, but it's Harvey Dent who reads the note from Batman. And it's like, wherever there is darkness and evil, I will be there. And how will you contact me? And he goes, he gave us a light, or he gave us a signal. And then they turn on the bat signal. And are you kidding me? Total me in 1989 chills, my friend. Because then you get a classic shot of like the bat signal in the air and Batman standing on the edge of a building with his cape billowing. It's all I need.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks fantastic.
End of movie. We made it. Do we recommend this movie?
Yes. Yes. Wow. That was a long one, wasn't it?
That was a long one. I don't think anyone's going to tune in.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
This is fun simply because on this path that we've done, we're going in chronological order. So it's putting me back where, now granted, I didn't see Superman 3 or 4 in the theaters back then. So for me, it had been this gap between Superman 2 and this in 1989. And then I'm like going, I walked out of Batman hoping we wouldn't get a Superman movie like it. Because again, Batman fits Batman. And I'm like, that's a great world. I'll revisit it. Hopefully there'll be sequels. I kept thinking that was going to open doors. Not only would, after I walked out of this in 89, I knew we'd get a sequel. I was like, that is making so much money and it's so well done. But I kept thinking in my head, stupidly, I'm like going, bring on the rest of them. It's like, it's the doors are now open. And I'm sitting there going, we're going to get, who knows, Hawkman, whatever. We're going to get Green Lantern. We're going to get all those guys. It's going to be awesome. We didn't. Yeah. We got Flash on TV the next year.
We did. Yeah. And then we got Lois and Clark. But we didn't, they didn't, Hollywood just still didn't figure it out. And it wasn't until, of course, we did get Batman Returns. But then, of course, we know what happened to the Batman franchise after that.
Yeah.
Then it really wasn't until Bryan Singer's X-Men, I think, that things started to turn around. Then we had Spider-Man.
It's almost like with every one of them. And Spider-Man isn't grim, but it's just that Raimi and Bryan Singer also, they were like, guys, the key to doing these is you do them straight. You don't mock. Batman 89 is stylized, but it's not mocking Batman at any point. You're in his world and they're taking it totally straight. The key is verisimilitude. It's just what Donner said. You take each one in turn and you do the character the way the character needs to be done. You don't over explain it. You don't apologize for him. You just go, no, this guy runs really fast and he saves people by running really fast. This guy saves people by using arrows. They're all green, by the way. And you don't sit there and mock it. You just let it happen. You don't do an Aquaman movie where people just constantly go, so you're the guy who talks to guppies, right? Which is famously how that movie started.
Yes.
By the way, thanks for, if any of you guys are listening all the way to the end, thanks. we're going to keep going because there's still good movies to talk about.
We got some bad movies to talk about too.
Yeah, and also modern stuff. I'm glad we got to talk about a couple of new movies. I will say that for this special broadcast, I have both of my wind-up Batmen who poop candy.
Is that why they look upset?
Yeah, I think so. What I love is their different expressions.
One of them's a little more constipated than the other.
This guy's like, and this guy's like going, really hurting the pooping of the candy. Anyway, thank you for joining us, P-Saps. What are your thoughts on Batman 89? They're probably going to be this. I'm going to predict. That's an awesome movie. I think that's probably all your thoughts. I mean, I can nitpick and dream about a younger Jack Nicholson playing the Joker, no Prince music, a Batmobile that doesn't slice people in half anytime it needs to make a turn. There are lots of things that I could not have in this, but I'm still going to be very happy. I was so happy watching it last night. Just a delight.
Yeah. I think when we do Batman Returns, we can talk about why, this really good turn for superhero movies went bad. So
I don't blame Batman Returns.
No, it was what happened after that.
It's what happened after that. And
so we'll get
I will also say this in advance, because I'm not going to hop on that, man. Joel Schumacher made some movies I really enjoyed. And I once helped him at Brentano's in Century City when he was buying some photography books, and he was the nicest, gentlest man. We had this, not a long talk, but he was so charming. I was like going, I can't hold it against you, man. He did some bad Batman, but I'm not going to hold it against you. R.I.P. Joel Schumacher. Anyway, so we'll talk about that stuff down the line. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for sticking it out with us, y'all.
And just like the Batman one, Batman's gonna kick your ass. Yes. Anyway, so we should probably end with that.
Okay.
And wait for the lawsuits.
Yeah.